TV begins now.
Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, strap yourselves in for the wildest thrill ride of your life. So grab a snack and sit back because we're about to throw it down.
We've got the best three-wide action door-to-door racing on the turn number 4 you'll find on iRacing, right here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network.
We are about to crown tonight's champion, and it's time to let her dig.
We're restacked and repacked up for turn number 4. Who's it gonna be?
And your source for esports racing is live. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Full Velocity Racing Network live tonight at the USA International Speedway in Lakeland, Florida. Happy New Year, happy 2020, and great to have you aboard tonight. The Resolution 200, presented by the EastWest Promotions Modified Tour, the third race of the Triple Crown, and it comes to you live this evening through Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV. What is going on, everybody? Phil Lacasse here, Jack Joe on the controls, and my broadcast colleague once again this week at East West. Well, guy for the Bottle Up Podcast, the voice of Pit Road at the Stafford Motor Speedway, our good buddy, Mr. Jeff Bocconi aboard. Jeff, how are you, bud? Happy New Year. Great to catch up with you again here in the last couple of minutes, man. Welcome to USA and back to East West, and we have a big crowd on hand tonight, brother.
We certainly do. I'm excited for it. Thank you for having me back on. It's always a pleasure watching these races, watching you guys do your thing, and to be a part of it is an absolute honor. I cannot wait to watch this race. Sitting at the top of the board already is the legendary Ty Majeski, the greatest iRacer of all time. And if you checked his Twitter a couple weeks ago, he was racing with an old kitchen chair, and I think it was like a G27 wheel strapped to a table and like a 24-inch monitor. So that's the greatest iRacer in the world racing on that. So I cannot wait to watch him race this race tonight.
It's going to be a lot of fun to watch himself, along with the rest of the group out there. So we did time trials, top 26 under the show, and just on cue right there, it's Ty Majeski setting quick time. 19.162 is going to pace qualifying over Brandon Wilkerson, Bobby Rafferty, Jeff Dooley, and Keith Jeffrey, our winner last week or 2 weeks ago here at the Myrtle Beach Speedway. That's going to run at our top 5 in qualifying. Top 26 are being locked in on speed. So we've got 26 plus in the field, and it looks like we're going to have a last chance qualifier that is going to call for, it looks like, for 11, but I believe it's going to have 6 cars out there, and I believe the top 4, Jeff, will be racing on into the main event for tonight, the Resolution 200. 200 laps around, long race, 3/4 mile racetrack. I mean, it's flat, it's tough, it's tricky to get around in these open wheel ground pounding modifieds. I mean, we're not in for a sprint race tonight. Can you imagine any scenario these guys are running this race like a sprint?
Well, it's 20 laps, which sounds like a lot, but that's just under 7 minutes of racing here. So you've got to make your move early and try and pull away here. This is not an easy track to catch up to people, but it is pretty easy to pull away from the field if you're the guy in front. So expect that. Jim Caesar starting on the front row. I think he's going to be able to take it, pull away as quick as you can, and we're going to see a lot of battles towards the back.
So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. 20 laps around will make up the LCQ. Let's take you through a quick lineup here, brought to you by Voiles Trucking. Then we'll come in with an official start of the show here in just a few minutes as we get bonus coverage here tonight for the USA International Speedway. On the pole, as Jeff said, Jim Caesar aboard car number 91. He'll start on the pole. Alongside the number 38 is Scott Bryant. In row number 2, number 86 is Doug Cockerham. Jimmy Zacharias, our old friend, along car number 27. He's on the outside of row number 2. Third row with car number 14 will be Billy Porter. With the number 4, Brad Ringer will start off in P6. And then we're going to look back here. 7th on down. I don't believe they all here. We got Garrett Straka, the 32. Jay Perkins, the 49. Lee Overton in the 55, and Darren Woodward. I think Darren Mayo. Yeah, Darren's out there. So it looks like we got Jeff McConey's name in there too. So we'll teach guys like Jeff how to come into a spectator and get yourself out of the lineup. We'll try that one day. But out of the 10 cars we're expecting, I believe we're going to have, 7 of them. So 7 drivers, top 4 into the main event. So they're going to have to scramble. The guys in the back, they got work to do.
There's 2 big names that have actually not taken the field that I was expecting to watch tonight. Jason Perkins, he's always consistent, and he's one of the most methodical drivers I've ever seen. He knows where you want to drive, and that's exactly where he's going to go. If he's not faster than you outright, he just outdrives you. Far better driver than most out there, and he's not taking the field. Lee Overton as well. Overton Speed Shop, fantastic driver. I've raced with him a lot personally. And he is just very, very methodical, but he's very quick. So to see both of them out already, not even attempt to make the field, that's going to be interesting.
It certainly is. It's going to put, said 7 drivers out there, 20 laps around. The field is all stacked up, restacked, repacked. We go under our very first iRacingIFlag.com. Green flag of the evening. Jim Caesar going to lead the field down at turn number 1 and 2. One car already kind of having a little bit of discussion with the aliens. That would be the 27 of Zacharias, who may lose that transfer spot for the 14 of Billy Porter. They're to the inside, door-to-door for 3rd over in 3.
Coming off of turn 4, they are starting to get lined up as the aliens seem to have taken the 27 and let him back out. That's going to be something to watch for. And that's a big mental thing for the competitors. When they can't see the other driver, they have to just race their own line, and that can lead to some interesting issues. We'll see how the competitors handle that with the 27 having some issues early on.
Yep, certainly is. Jimmy Z holding on to position number 4 right now. Jim Caesar is the race leader. Doug Cockerham has put himself in that transfer spot up in 2nd. 3rd will sit Scott Bryant in the number 38. And then Jimmy Zacharias holding on to that 4th and final transfer spot. Billy Porter, Brad Ringer, Darren Woodward. They're the drivers right now currently on the outside looking in. They got work to do as we will put 2 laps on the board, now working lap 3 complete. So we get 17 laps remaining. Top 2 have started to distance themselves out a little bit, but maybe not so much as they come off the corner. Better gear review. They're right there nose to tail within about 2 or 3 car lengths of each other.
You got a bit of a gap further back in the field, but that key position is 4th place. The top 4 move on, and that is it. So you've got under a 10th, now up to 4 tenths, excuse me, between Zacharias and Porter there, the 27 and the 14. The 27 needs to hold that spot and start to pull away here. We might see him make a move on Scott Bryan in the 38 to try and give himself a little bit more wiggle room.
A little bit for sure there. That 38 of Bryant running in the 3rd spot, but it's just like a little, maybe call it a 4-car breakaway, if you will, there by a couple of car lengths there over Porter, the number 14, currently running on the outside looking at 5th. Zacharias, he gets wicked loose off turn number 2. He'll wash up the racetrack just a skosh. That's going to allow, who's that behind? That's on the 14. Who's up there making a run? That's Brad Ringer, the number 4. Brad, we know he's a guy who can turn some laps out here in a good way. He's to the low side of Zacharias for that transfer spot off 2.
It's starting to get interesting here. That 4 is diving into the bottom, and the 27 seems to be playing it safe, riding the outside a little bit, which is hard here. But he's getting some good runs through the center of the corner on the 38. Seems to be fastest there, but coming off the corner, he has the advantage over the 4 car. But now, as I say that, going into turn 1, the 4 car's got the line as he drives it in hard, and the 27 is on the outside. The 4 car now has the transfer spot. Zacharias is now out.
Jimmy's going to now drop back to 5th, and that's a guy who for years and years up in the Northeast Parks, the New York state champion in the pavement modifieds for a couple of seasons out there. So he's a very good pavement modified driver. In the last year and a half, Jimmy's actually branched out into the dirt scene. He's been out there in the 358 crate. Sportsman's out there doing good. Oh, we got contact, 4 cars around. Oh,
that
no.
was a little bit of contact from the 27. Maybe a tap on the bumper, gone awry. The 4 car's gone around. No caution is out, but these cars are now down to just a 4-car breakaway as they have a 1.2-second lead over Billy Porter. He's in 5th place.
That's too bad for Brad, too, as I'm sure he's going to be a little upset there getting turned around on the 27 over in the 3rd turn. But we check back in here up front as we go halfway in this LCQ, and it's Jim Caesar out front. He's been out there with some clear sailing ahead, but you look behind, Cockerham is there, Bryant is there, Zacharias at 27. We know he's not shy using that chrome horn right now. He's making that thing work. Look, that's the work on the dirt, I'm telling you. He has got comfortable up on a cushion on the dirt, and now he's making it happen in an asphalt modified. He's going in a groove up there where not a lot of people can pass.
If you can tell me the last person that made a pass on the outside here at USA, I would be impressed. That just does not happen at this track, so that's going to be interesting to see. If he's got that little advantage over other people, that could be a huge factor in the race if he can roll the outside as he tries to make it work on the 91.
He is making some time over there as it looks like we've had a change for the lead. Caesar's going to relinquish it to Doug Cockerham. So the 86 now up to the race lead. Caesar now back to 2nd. Zacharias and Scott Bryant running out our top 4. Billy Porter now finds himself about a half a second out of that transfer as we're 14 laps going on the board this time. So running down on laps in the LCQ, but Doug Cockerham was a little bit off in qualifying, 19.930. It was 0.2 slower the way he put up there in the opening practice of the race. So Doug may have just missed it in qualifying. 86 car looks to have some decent speed here in the LCQ.
Somebody needs to tell Zacharias that he has already qualified for the event if he finishes top 4, because he is absolutely tearing into this lead. He wants to win this last chance qualifier, and I can't blame him. Going all the way back to 5th place just a couple laps ago, up to 2nd, and gaining on the leader, Doug Cockerham.
He is doing a heck of a job out there. Wheelman behind the wheel with 27. I followed a guy for a couple of years since raced with him years ago back in the day in 2003 and followed him pretty closely as he's made some laps. He drove a little bit for the famous old blue number 3 on the Whalen Modified Tour for a little while. So Jimmy Z, he's a guy who's definitely for sure made some laps out there in these big open wheel ground pounding modifieds at the highest of level on the Mod Tour. So did it with a really good team. So no surprise at all to watch that 27 just doing all he can up through the field. But can he run down Doug Cockerham? I believe that's going to be the question. He may have run up some tires up top, but as I say that, he chops it down about 3 car lengths as we shoot down the front stretch.
He was faster that last lap by about a 1/10.5 over Cockerham, so if he is saving any equipment, he's certainly not showing it. So I think what he might be doing, taking the advantage of the situation, see how his setup responds over time. 20 laps here gives you a pretty good indication of how the car is going to react. So if he pushes it now, he gets a fresh set of tires for the race. You might as well run it as hard as you can, see how the car reacts so that you can know you can lean on it during the race.
You certainly can. They are driving it for all it's worth, but Cockerham last time around, he got 2 to go from the starter, and this time through 3 and 4, the starter is going to unfurl that white flag. It'll be one more trip around this awesome 3/4 mile USA International Speedway. It's a crying shame that this place doesn't exist anymore in the real world, because this was always a really fun racetrack to watch races at, but Cockerham doing a good job. Zacharias currently running in for 2nd if his connection will hold. Caesar and Bryant, they look comfortable over into turn number 3 and 4 for the final time. Give the LCQ win to Cockerham in the 86. He's going to hold on in for 2 at the line. Blinking across Zacharias will be scored 2nd. Caesar will grab 3rd. Scott Bryant, he'll get that final transfer. Brad Ringer, Billy Porter, and Darren Woodward, who was looks like a little off here tonight as far as practice time goes. Those 3 drivers will head off on the trailer, or I don't know, they may let them all race. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. The call was for 30. I think, those 3 cars for sure are going to go home. So the 30-car field is set. 200 laps around this joint, Jeff. We've done a sprint here for 20 laps. Now, how do these guys pace themselves for 200 laps? They can't drive that hard every lap like it's qualifying, can they?
Oh, no way, no how. This track eats up tires. I think we're going to see a lot of 4-tire stops. Somebody could, if they're gutsy, take 2. I wouldn't go more than 40 laps if it were me on 2 tires, but we'll see. It's all about strategy. And here, it's all about track position, because not everyone is like Zacharias where they can roll the outside. Once you get to the bottom, you have to stay down there. So expect a lot of dive bombs, and I think that's where we're going to start seeing cautions. It's just a hard drive into the corner gone wrong.
I think you're absolutely right. So I guess we'll wait and see as we got 200 laps around. But before we get racing, one more item of business left to do. And that's by paying honor to this great nation, United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Doubting whether it's true, all the things you said you could do, not in the mood for a failure, always staring up high, hoping for a glimpse of the sky.
All right, the national anthem getting us started on the Full Velocity Racing Network, your source for esports racing with the EastWest Promotions Modified Tour tonight, and we are sponsored by the following great folks that take such good care of us. Gonna say thank you to the gang over at Team Hard Motorsports, the official caution flag sponsor of the Full Velocity Racing Network. Also gonna thank iRacingIFlag.com. If you do not have an iFlag, well, you probably shouldn't be racing in iRacing because they give you an upper hand of a competition. Check them out today, iRacingIFlag.com. Also going to say hello and thank you to Kathy and Brian Boyles at Boyles Trucking. Of course, J-Max Journeys, they're the official Mr. Replay sponsor of the Full Velocity Racing Network. Check them out today at jmaxstrong.com. Also want to say thank you to Vlad and Sam over at BladeNote.com. Simple web solutions powered by nerds. BladeNote sponsors our post-race show. Want to say hello to the South Texas Speedway, the official track fact sponsor here in 2020 for the Full Velocity Racing Network. Also want to say hello and thank you to Charlie Milner, Milner Media and Design. He makes us look awesome out here night after night. All these great new graphics and overlays and videos he's got working for us. Thank you to Tubbs for all his hard work. Also want to say thank you to TDR Racing League, 3D Racing, JP Designs, Trash Panda Graphics, Katie Dugas over at the Pit Pass, and also our all-new league sponsor, the Cyber Thunder Racing League. We welcome all of them aboard. We thank them for all our support, all support they give us, I should say. And Jeff McConey, we're about to set these guys loose for 200 laps around the U.S. International Speedway. What do you think these guys have for last-second instructions before they get rolling?
Be careful. Take care of your teammates because they need to take care of you as well. That is the biggest thing. Knowing that you can rely on the guy behind you to not dive bomb you, not do something crazy here at a track that's really only one lane. you got to be able to rely on the people around you. I think that's the last-minute discussions here going on.
Absolutely right. Well, let's take it through our Voiles Trucking starting lineup really quick on the pole aboard the car number 191. And yeah, it's an enigma right there. Number 1 rated driver in all of iRacing. That is Ty Majeski on the pole tonight. And alongside aboard car number 2, another heavy hitter, multiple-time winner on this tour. That is Brandon Wilkinson. Row number 2 on the inside aboard car number 07. That is Bobby Rafferty from Jim Beaver Esports. And alongside the 099 is Jeff Dooley. Row number 3, we find Keith Jeffrey leads the points here at the EastWest Modified Tour. He'll roll off tonight in position number 5 with Dave Bodio, the winningest driver in tour history, on the outside of row number 3. Junior Harville starts with car number 41. He will start 7th with Kyle O'Danick and the number 21 on the outside of row number 4. 5th row, the number 13 is Brad Carpenter with the number 90 car of Chad Homan. I'll give you the next 10 if you will, Jeff.
Absolutely. Starting in 11th position, Zach Murphy in the number 29, number 42, piloted by Justin Carey. In row number 6, Steve Cosley in the number 76, then Chris Forster in the 23, starting on the outside. Starting 15th, Gerald John in the 44. Oh my goodness, I am absolutely all over the place tonight. 16th, the 89, Steven Rogers too. And the 019, Andrew McKenzie. And the 097, Tommy Flanagan. Starting 19th is Rick Webster in the 18. Starting 20th, Glenn Fressel III in the 99.
That's what's putting you on the spot, sounds like right there. Good job, partner. The 71 rolls off 21st. Gary Holbrick, Kyle Ammon off a 3rd place finish a few weeks ago at Myrtle Beach. He'll start 22nd with John Buckley's number 61 and Kurt Vigent making up row number 12 aboard car number 7. Chris Hyatt, Michael Steffen, Doug Cockerham, Jimmy Zacharias, Jim Caesar, and Scott Bryan run a 30-car field. We are under the iRacingIFlag.com green flag, 200 laps around. The Resolution 200 is green. It's Ty Majeski for the first time, who leads him into turn 3.
The Jimmy Zacharias machine had some connection issues and is now rejoining the race. He is racing, but will not be on the lead lap.
Well, he's got plenty of time. There's a time to fall out and have to come back from behind. Jimmy Z may have picked a good time there. He'll have to come from the back of the field. He'll score himself in 30th, but he'll join the tail end, may start a couple of laps down. But it's a long night here at USA. This is not a sprint race whatsoever, but you wouldn't know it by looking up front and watching the lap times of Majeski already. Brandon Wilkinson, they're starting to distance himself away. The top 2, you find Bobby Rafferty, a good run early on for the 7 car up there in 3rd. So there's some, you look throughout the top 20, man, there is some really good talented wheelman. But Ty Majeski right now leads the field by 3 car lengths down in turn 1.
I'm watching a battle a little further back in the field. They are too wide, the 13 and the 90, as Justin Carey tries to make up some time on them, with the 13 just trying to get ahead of the 90 car.
That's a good race back there. That's going on, what is that, for about 9th and 10th back there. Holman in the number 90, 13 of Carpenter. Maybe the best race of the racetrack as they find themselves all single file. But you think about it, 200 laps here at USA. It's a long 3/4 mile, but they're lapping this place at, just about 19.2, 19.3. Those will absolutely slow down over the course of time. Or will they slow down as the sun goes down, it gets a little darker, the weather, gets a little cooler? Are these cars going to get even faster than they are now, potentially?
Absolutely. As soon as the sun goes down and they get a late caution, let's say maybe 10, 15 laps to go, 4 new tires on the thing, these cars, they might even break 19 seconds. That's how fast they're going to go.
That is absolutely amazing to think how fast they're going in a 3/4 mile. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch tonight. Now you think about it, it's starting to look like what we're doing here tonight with 200 laps. They're starting to kind of ease themselves in a line. Guys are starting to feel their race cars out. We take a float back to the field. We find Dave Bodio now down to the inside of Keith Jeffries. They're doing through 3 and 4. We have our first caution flag of the night. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Slow the field down on lap number 7. Our very first yellow flag of the evening, brought to you by Team Har Motorsports Hard Ass Racing. Brings us our first yellow flag of the evening. We'll put the very capable replay fingers of our buddy Jack Truman, who's got the controls this evening, and we'll take a look at our very first instant replay of the night, brought to you by J-Max Journeys. We'll take a look back, and I believe something may have gone amiss with, was it Tommy Flanagan in the 097 that may have got a piece of the action here, or potentially just kind of looking up and down. I believe that's the car I saw around. I may be wrong. Jack maybe will tell me different. What do you see out there, Jeff?
I'm looking as well. I don't see any major issues with Tommy Flanagan, but he was falling back a little earlier.
I don't find anything quite yet, so this is kind of precarious. 7 laps in, a yellow flag. Be a
We
beer
have
bottle.
debris on the track, yeah.
Possibly, did the 7 car of Kurt Vidgen have something happen? I see him down on pit road. Car looks clean. I'm not exactly sure. We're first yellow flag of the night. We're looking for a replay. I just don't really think there's going to be one to show off. So we'll get them all restacked and repacked. We'll ride around under yellow, and we just talked about the strength of this field here tonight. 200 laps around is going to be a lot of fun. So let's see real quick. Let's bring one of these now. See, we get a time though. We don't have time here under this yellow flag, as I think lights will go out next time. So do not want to. We'll definitely catch rank with these guys. We had a couple of guys over here in TeamSpeak with us tonight. I see Bobby Rafferty is out there from the Jim Beaver Esports team. We got Justin Carey out there as well. So we'll bring 2 guys in as far as in-race reporters here over the course of the night. But we're only early on. We don't want to spend their voice already. Let them concentrate, because they get a lot to feel out right now. It's still early on, 10 laps in. What do you think these guys have felt anything in the way these race cars are going to handle? Anything they may want to adjust on here later on? Or do you got what you got right now if you're up front?
Right now, I say you got what you got. You're just watching the cars around you, watching your lap times especially. That is the biggest indication for these guys. How fast am I over the course of those 10 laps? Am I losing a lot of speed? How fast is the guy behind me? Because if you go out and let's say you're half a second faster than the field for 3 laps, you got a 1.5-second gap. But if you burn up your stuff doing that and the guy behind you suddenly is 0.3 quicker, you know in 5 laps he's going to catch you. That's just the way it works. Going on rates, assuming a constant rate, this, that, and the other. That's the engineering side of me coming out. So I think if you are out there towards the front, Ty Majeski, you are just sitting and watching these lap times and knowing that just because you can jump ahead really quick doesn't necessarily mean you're fast on the long run.
That's exactly right there. And that is the sounds of an insight, a guy that's just coming through this business, and he's going to go a long way. Our buddy Jeff McConey joining us tonight from the Bottled Up podcast. Great to have a guy who knows these cars inside and out and follows them as closely as a guy like I do. So this is a lot of fun to do. I was hoping my partner in crime here, Todd Stanton, will be joining us tonight too, but I'm not sure if Todd's going to be able to jump in this evening. So if not, I'm glad I got Jeff here, because he'll help me carry along what is going to be an awesome night of racing. It looked like the field is all doubled up. The lights are out on the pace car. Want to say hello to our pal Katie Dugas out there in Facebook Live. I see Robbie Buckner out there. I see Kyle Banger. Kyle and Katie, Stars Donations gang, thank you so much for those. We'll talk all about the Stars all night long, what they do for us. I don't believe they set out a new goal for us yet for the month of January, but I'm sure they will, as they don't believe we're a legitimate, broadcasting company that streams through Facebook. But we go under the iRacingEyeflag.com green flag. Ty Majeski, Brandon Wilkerson lead the field to turn 1.
You gotta wonder if there was a bit of coordination there between Majeski and Wilkinson, because they both got incredible jumps, and Wilkinson slid in right behind Majeski, securing those spots on the front row. So I don't know if those guys are working together, but for both guys to get as good a jump as they did, and we've got a caution out on track.
We certainly do. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Second one of the night brought to you by Team Hahn Motorsports. Now I think we have something to show. I believe a little bit of a wreck there on the restart through turns number 1 and 2, and what do they say when they brake quickly on the short tracks at a restart? Parking lot. We may have a parking lot over there in the first turn, Jeff.
Oh, it is bad. I see the field slowing. I saw somebody crash down by pit road. I'm not sure what that is. But Majeski is now entering turn 1, where the parking lot is seemed to clear up. But let's get a look at that replay and see what all happened.
Absolutely right. We take a look on through, and I think I seen Chad Holman's car maybe stuck in the middle of that. I believe Andrew McKenzie was also there in the 019. I believe I'm just trying to follow along. I believe that the Michael Steffen, number 97, Kurt Vidgen's number 7, I believe, got a little piece of a tag over there. So yeah, a little bit of a parking lot over in turn number 1. Second yellow flag of the night. Now they've come kind of early. We're only 15 laps in. At what point do these drivers begin to start settling in, getting into a groove, and logging some laps, because it's definitely not a sprint. I believe Gerald John got a piece of a 44 as well. John Buckley get a little touch of it. Yep, 61 got a little bit as well. So a couple of cars all sort of tore up. They're down on pit road getting some damage repaired. But little tad bit early to go so hard, or is this kind of expected early on with 30 cars on a short track in these big open wheel cars?
Everyone's trying to get as much as they can. They're pushing their cars to the limit. It looks like what happened is the number 13, Brad Carpenter, had to check up just a little bit coming out of the corner, probably was getting a little tight. The 30 got into the back of him, and the 29 touched the back of the 30, which sent him around. So just a racing deal, but boy, was it a big crash there in the parking lot, as a lot of cars got wrapped up in that one.
Did get a lot of cars there, so that's unfortunate. Second yellow flag of the night. Lights still stay on the pace car. So let's get to grab a couple of words with these guys out there so far, feeling out their race cars. I believe we're going to have two by way of our TeamSpeak communication with us tonight. I know we're over in Discord also for the post-race show, but I'm sure we have the ability to switch back and forth. So let's see if we can't join. Let's get Bobby Rafferty in here. Bobby Rafferty out there running in position at number 3 aboard that number 7 car. Bobby, it's Phil from Full Velocity, my friend. Do you have a coffee?
10-4, I do, buddy. How are you?
We're doing fantastic, man. You're doing pretty good yourself. I would say that number 7 car, it's awesome looking as usual. Restarting now 3rd. How's the racetrack feeling these first 10 or so laps that we had 2 short runs in?
Track feels pretty good. It's starting to come around. It's still a little bit tight off for me, but at this point in a 200-lap race, you don't want to be pushing the car at all. So it's kind of just settle in, ride. I want to try to analyze what Majeski and Brandon are doing in front of me.
That's right, and you got 2 guys who really know their way around, in this sim and in these cars for sure. Is that out there feeling your way around? Is staying with them a name of the game, or are we looking at 150 laps in? Let's go up there and start racing these fellas.
I think it's more just survive until about lap 150 and then see where we're at. I can't let guys like Brandon or Ty or even my teammates Dave and Keith get way the hell out in front of me. But at the same point, you got to try to conserve your stuff so you do have something at the end to fight with them. So it's definitely a balancing act. It should be very interesting, though. But this East-West Promotions race is anything these guys put on is always top-notch. Great group of drivers, so I expect it to be a really good show for you guys.
Well, it'll be awesome as usual. These guys do an awesome job. Kyle and Keith, good gentlemen. And you as well, man. Great to see you out there tonight. Good luck the rest of the evening. And hey, I got you and Justin up there. So if we slow down anymore, you may hear from us again here. If we're not in the post-race, but let's make that post-race happen later on. Let's make a date. Top 3 finish about 7 car tonight. What do you think?
That's the goal, man. I mean, after the VLR race coming from 19th to 4th after being up to 3rd, I was really trying to get into that post-race. But I just want to thank you guys for shouting out. My Jim Beaver Esports guys, General Tire, Polaris Razor, Vision Wheels, all the guys that helped us put this deal together. I really appreciate it.
Hell yeah, brother. Well, we'll let him get back to it as they're in their office, and one of the great things about auto racing there, Jeff, you can sometimes talk to these guys. You can't go on the field, interview Tom Brady in the middle of a game, You get guys, and I'm glad Bobby and Justin, those 2 guys have stepped up tonight, and really appreciate we'll have insight from inside the race car as this event unfolds.
Yeah, there's a million things going through your mind when you're driving one of these cars, but I'll tell you what, it's always nice when they get a chance to talk and jump on the opportunity to talk to us and give the fans an insight into what all is going on out there, as this is going to be a really interesting race. I'll tell you what, when you're staring down Ty Majeski and trying to beat him, it's always fun.
And this is a lot of fun. First time I've seen Ty race a billion times, as we all have, but first time I get to see him out here actually in a race live in a living color on our airwaves, so definitely cool for sure. As we go back under the iRacingIFlag.com green flag so it looks like there's a little bit, I'm not sure there's communication going out between the 2 of them, but it almost felt orchestrated. They get back in their line at 1 and 2, but we have a yellow back on the Speedway, 3rd one of the night. Hard Ass Racing, Team Hard Motorsports, yellow flag number 3. Finds us a lap number 22, and I think we kind of predicted this a little bit early that we may see a couple of guys just trying to feel out their race car. Probably the first time this evening that you get stuck in traffic, and you don't know everybody's braking points, so somebody may stop and check up, and looks like that's what we have here. Somebody braked, and the guy behind him wasn't ready, and the guy behind him, so on and so forth. An accordion effect.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. For the 2nd time in a row, just a guy in front of him checked up, someone behind didn't. caused a bit of a chain reaction. Christopher Hyatt went around, he went for a ride, spun it down into the grass. Doesn't look like any major damage on the car, if any damage at all. So he'll be able to continue this race, I'm sure.
He absolutely will. We'll see what's going to happen there. Tough break, but yeah, it's going to happen. They check up on these restarts. You get stacked up. So unfortunately, guys are going to get turned around, pointed the wrong way, and unfortunately, it looks like a 12-car Chris Hyatt. It's going to be the short end on the stick on this time, is being that car right in the middle of it all. So third yellow flag of the night. So while we got a little break in the action, we just talked to Bobby Rafferty. Let's bring another voice into the conversation. As this is a guy I'm going to put on the spot as he comes here and hangs out with us. And then, of course, our buddy Jeff Brown over at iRacing iFlag. Jeff, I'm going to surprise you. I seen you out there in chat. How the heck are you tonight, bud? What's going on over at iFlag this evening?
Hey, we got the Predators just rolling, and I thought I'd pop in here real quick and listen to the best broadcasters broadcast a race while I was handling some prints here, and it sounds like you guys are doing a great job, and watching the racing here, it's keeping me pretty entertained while I'm sitting here printing.
I'm glad you came in. So we don't want to do a lot of pavement too often, but we're loving doing these on Thursday night, open wheel modifieds, and we've got some ringers out there tonight, man. So strap in. It's going to be an awesome ride. 200 laps around. We're only 25 laps in, so hopefully you have a couple of these orders. I know you've been backed up on them. Maybe they'll be almost done by the time this race gets over. Who knows, right? I mean, you've been busy out there. Tell everybody out there how. I know you've been backed up. Are iFlags once again available and able to order?
Well, they hopefully by the end of the weekend they will be. What happened was about mid-November is we just started getting slammed with orders, and
Which is great.
yeah, which is a good problem to have. And I went ahead and made the decision to go ahead and close the orders for the iFlags because I didn't want to get too backed up, because like most people, when I order something then I want it right away. Well, we were getting backed up to the point where it was 2 to 3 weeks out, and I didn't want to disappoint our customers and having them wait that long for an order. So that's why I went ahead and put out of stock on them for right now, so we can get caught up, and then once we do, then we'll open it back up and get the orders coming again. I just didn't want people to wait. Again, it's customers first. That's what we try to do here, and that's why the decision was made. But by this weekend, I hope to have it up and going again so people can start ordering them.
All right, so there's our buddy Jeff Brown over on iRacingIFlag.com. If you don't have an iFlag, well, or a pit box, he's got so many great peripheral things that'll make you be at the top of your game over on iRacing. So once again, iRacingIFlag.com. Jeff, you're a great sport, brother. Thanks for a couple of words there. Feel free, hang out. We may do this a few times tonight here. Maybe pick your brain a little bit later on. But Jeff McConey, we're getting ready to go restart, brother.
Absolutely, and I'm excited for it. I wonder how many of those guys out there are on the digital pit box, because actually it's single file restart as we get back going here.
Yeah, they're trying something new here as we've had 3 early yellow flags in 25 laps. So the call came down, a single file restart, and it lets Ty Majeski just slam on that throttle. He's going to race himself out to the race lead already. Going to run away from Brandon Wilkinson, Bobby Rafferty. Dave Bodie of number 16, the winningest driver in the history of the EastWest Modified Tour. He back there in the 4th spot. That's another Jim Beaver Esports car. We know Dave Bodie knows how to get it done. Let's see where he's a guy who wants to go out in the dirt. Well, you're going to see a guy on pavement here tonight who knows how to get the job done. Dave Bodie is going to mix it up with these big hitters up front. I will guarantee it.
This front four is the who's who of the EastWest Modified Tour. The only person you need is Keith Jeffrey. You got Ty Majeski, Brandon Wilkinson, Bobby Rafferty, and Dave Bodio. All 4 guys, even Jeff Dooley out there in 5th place. He is an amazing SK Modified driver. One of the best I've ever seen. So a top 5 here. All of these guys can win. It's going to be an amazing race if we can stay green.
Absolutely right. And I'm glad that's why I get guys like you to talk about Jeff Dooley. No, he's out there. I believe SK's at Stafford. Yeah, he's a really good name. Junior Harville back there, number 41, another guy who has a lot of seat time. Junior Harville actually has the distinction of holding the track record out here at USA in these iRacing, wheel and modifieds. If I can't find the track record time here real quick on my sheet, all over the place here as I got the points. Where the heck
What's
am I
amazing
going
about
here?
Jeff Dooley is he had, I want to say, 90 wins in the iRacing SK Modified Series
Wow.
last season alone. And I remember I beat him, gosh, maybe twice at Richmond, and I just had this perfect setup at Richmond, and I was pulling away from the field, and I knew I would win the race and have an amazing week as soon as I heard Jeff Dooley come over the mic and say, wow, I can't catch up to him, and that's the one time I've
Wow.
ever heard him say it.
That's amazing. I've never been on the other end of something like that from a guy with as much accomplishment as he does there. That's a really cool story right there. The time Junior Harville set with the track record, brace yourself for this one, 18.316. That is screaming. An average speed of 147.412 miles per hour around this joint. That's screaming fast. Give you just a bit of a glimpse how quick that is. Ty Majeski last time by 19.489. His pole time tonight a 19.162. That's more than 3/10 of a second better. 3/4 of a second off the fastest lap. 18:30. I can't imagine. Holy smokes.
That's unbelievable. And we got, again, Junior sitting back there, and he is currently ticking off the laps as he goes along. But Ty Majeski, this is his race to lose at this point. So as the early stage here, he's got an 0.8 of a second lead over Brandon Wilkinson, the 2-car, but lap traffic is coming up. And you've got to hope these guys get up out of the way, and usually they do, but it always gets a little bit hairy as he goes all the way to the middle of the track, giving about 2 lanes to this lap car, as Brandon Wilkinson has to make passes on the outside as the lap car is going down to the pits.
Yeah, we certainly do. A couple of cars off the pace. They were heading toward pit road, and who that one was. I think that was that Cockerham. No, I believe it was Stefan, number 97, that may have kind of made the beeline down there to pit road. But the lap times these guys are turning, a couple of cars are kind of off, and I'm just kind of watching a couple of comers and goers through the field, and a guy that's jumped out at me is a driver of that number 17, Kyle Ammon. Had a third-place run last time out here, so off all that momentum he gained at the Myrtle Beach Speedway. But we look up there from 22nd to 11th. That's by far and away the biggest jump we've had here tonight. A 17 car is rolling up there, running in 11th.
He knows how to stay out of trouble, and that's exactly what he's done. He's avoided the 2 cautions here. He's got a bit of a gap before he catches up, about 2.3 seconds before he catches up to Steven Rogers up there in the 89. But Kyle Ammon, yeah, he finished 3rd last week at Myrtle Beach.
That was 2 weeks ago. I got to remember, we had last Thursday off because of the day after Christmas, so been a little bit of a time away from the East-West guys, so that's about to pick up as we're going to carry, I believe, the balance of the rest of the schedule out there live every Thursday night on the Full Velocity Racing Network, so make sure to stay tuned in. We'll give you the breakdown of where the points sit here once we settle down here, another break if we get one. But looking so far so good. Now 41 laps on the board. You said Ty Majeski out there to almost a full second advantage over Brandon Wilkinson. But the car behind Brandon, that 7 of Bobby Rafferty, looks like Bobby's car has found a little bit of speed. Brandon's car, is he saving right now, or is that car starting to fall off a little bit?
Knowing Brandon Wilkinson, I think he's probably saving what he's got for a little bit later. He always has a little bit left at the end when he needs it most. Running second here really isn't that much different than running third when Ty Majeski has an entire straightaway lead. At that point, save your stuff, play it calm, and maybe make a run for it at the end. But you're going to stay within 1/10 of the position you were just in. If it means saving tires, I would take the loss of 2 positions for saving them.
I think that's a really good idea right there. So, yeah, I think Brandon doing exactly what you said, probably sitting back and saving. Guy who is definitely not saving, I've been back here watching a guy like Chris Forster on board that number 23 tonight, Splash and Go graphics machine. And Chris, the guy, he usually runs a lot up front here at EastWest. So don't be fooled by that 14th, starting position tonight. He's starting to make his way up on through. He's found his way into the top 10. Chris Forster back there running in 9th and starting to gain some ground. He's got 5 seconds off the race lead, but you look up ahead, the 13 of Brad Carpenter is. So if Brad relaxes, a guy like Chris Forster, he's going to jump right there and be ready to pounce.
Brad Carpenter is not the driver that relaxes and gives things up, son. He always keeps it interesting. I can assure you he is not going to be letting him by, and we're going to have a great race for 8th place here, I think, in a couple laps as they work by the 30 car, Chad Holman, and they work their way past him.
Yeah, they do. They're just making laps out there now. It's been a little bit of a breakaway up front. Ty Majeski's opened this lead up to 1.4 seconds last time around. Wilkinson has dropped back off of his pace. Majeski last time by, even in lap traffic, in 1976. You look back to Wilkinson's time, 1982. So Majeski for sure is on a rail. Dave Bodio, the number 16, he's to the low side. He makes his way around the number 7 of Rafferty. So Dave Bodio, like we said, do not sleep on that gentleman at all. The winningest driver of the Tour history is now up to 3rd. Trails the race leader by 1.6 seconds, but last time by in 1986, that is time comparable to that of the race leader. Right now, that's even a little bit quicker last time by as Majeski slowed down a little bit. 16 is coming.
You got to wonder if Ty is saving anything at this point. I think he's realized, well, I'm over a second ahead. I got a second and a half. They're starting to battle for position. I can start saving my stuff now. Ty Majeski isn't really, you don't see him and think, oh, he's a modified driver. But he is wheeling one of these things like an absolute pro. So this is amazing to see how, really just how smart he is in, I've got my lead, I'm okay, let them fight for position, I'll save my stuff back here.
Not a bad idea at all. That's why that guy is accomplished as he is out there, just letting it ride, not going to overuse it. Ty Majeski's 191 car out there leading this one. Wilkinson in for 2. Dave Bodio
Battle
is
for
right
second.
there. Oh, Bodio's to the inside, so we look over there. That's a race between himself and Wilkinson. Dave Bodio going to find second as the time to hit turn 1.
Well, that was a quick battle as he's falling back. Bodio is up to second, and now we've got Brandon Wilkinson settling into 3rd place as they're coming up on the lap traffic here. Doug Cockerham, he did well in the heat race and worked his way into the feature as he now becomes lap traffic as they're going to work their way around.
Doing a great job. Lap cars getting out of the way, and I'm usually that lap car, so I know exactly how they feel right now, trying to get up out of the way, not be any kind of impediment to the guys running up in the front of the field. Nothing worse than slowing up the leader and getting run over. So they're doing a great job. Wilkinson able to hold on to 3rd. I thought for a minute Rafferty may try to ease his way into that hole, maybe kind of jump and try to claim 3rd. But Bobby, being a veteran as he is, going to let that 7 car ride, sitting back there in 4th. We get the lap car up in front of them, and the 96 car, that's 86 car, Cockerham, he's up out of the groove. Won the LCQ, but this shows how fast this field was that qualified in the top 26. Doug has done a good job. He's rallying his way to 20th. The first car 1 lap down, but we've got some fast guys out there tonight. 1 through 20, it's stacked. It's no other way to say it, it's stacked.
Hey, you remember that time we said Ty Majeski was saving? Well,
Yep.
He's now pulled away by another
Holy.
half second since we said that. 0.6 seconds since we said that. 2.1 seconds, gaining about a 10th a lap over the field. If he's saving, then he's still by far and away the fastest car on track.
He's out there pedaling, I would say. He's doing a heck of a job. We've got a little race going on back here. It's starting to shape up Jeff for position 5. Jeff Dooley holding on. Kyle O'Danick at 21, another guy who's really, got my attention here recently. At 21, doing a good job riding in line, but he's starting to pester that 99 of Dooley. It's a good race for 5th on the back chute.
I'm interested to see how Dooley responds. He's not used to people keeping pace with him, so it's going to be awesome to see as O'Danick gets a run on the inside here. Doesn't look like he'll be able to keep it on the straightaway. He's not going to make a dive bomb into turn 1. It's far too early for that lap 58. You just want to cruise and ride along and make sure you don't lose the position to the 41 right behind him, and that is probably the worst thing you can do. Lose the position to Junior Harville trying to gain one only on lap 58 of 200.
Yeah, there's still a lot of laps left to go, and yeah, like you said, right about now, you got to calculate your moves. It's way too early in this race to take an unnecessary chance, maybe tear your stuff up, and so Kyle O'Danick doing a great job there, but he may take a peek as Dooley gets up out of the groove over in 3 and 4. O'Danick is there. He may have that position down low. Drag race on the front chute. Does Kyle take the chance at turn 1? He's in that preferred passing line.
It almost looks like both drivers are saying to the other, no, it's okay, it's all you, it's all you. As now O'Danick falls back behind Dooley, and they will remain in position number 5 for Dooley, 6th for O'Danick, and Junior Harville in 7th place.
Respect, that's what you see from a lot of these guys right now, communicating and being gentlemen out there. We do a lot of dirt races. You don't see a lot of that etiquette in dirt, I'll tell you what. Them guys communicating, that's racing for positioning of a top 5. Yes, there's 140 plus laps to go, but why not, communicate and ride, doing a heck of a job, but just looking for any kind of battles for position. I'm not finding one inside the top 10. I'm way back here riding. Let's see, we get Steve Rodder's back here running in 10th. He's in line with Forster back here. Find the likes of a guy like Justin Carey. Justin had a great qualifying run tonight. Started in 12th. Well, no, it wasn't him. He started 12th. He's currently running 11th. It's Keith Jeffrey I'm looking at. Now, Keith Jeffrey, a guy who won the last time out, the Myrtle Beach Speedway, started with a P5 time tonight, came to pit road on one of the first yellow flags. No advantage there for pitting that early as we've run, probably all the sticker off of those new tires now. Does Keith Jeffrey have anything better as far as grip that the guys do up front, even if it's 10 laps?
I would say so, because his last lap was about half a tenth quicker than Ty Majeski. He ran a 19.9, Ty Majeski with a 20.02. So a small advantage, but for as much track position as you lose here, the time it takes to get back up through the field past the slower guys, it's really just not worth it. But I think those guys are going to look at that and say, okay, 4 tires made that much of a difference, so maybe you can gamble and take 2 if it's just a short, quick run. I think that's what we're learning here.
And you said that 88 is indeed faster than the leader. Just made his way around Justin Carey. So Keith Jeffrey now up to 11th, 11 and a half seconds behind the race leader, almost 12 seconds last time by. And there's a gap. There's almost a full straightaway between himself and that 9 car. Steve Rodder's out there running in the top 10. So maybe some work to do left there on the board of the number 88. He's got some time to get it done. But we check back in. Where's our race leader, Ty Majeski? He is over in turns number 1 and 2. The lead has been trimmed. It stayed around 2 seconds. It's grown back to an even 2 over Dave Bodio. Dave has done a good job tonight now, I tell you. Started 6th. Didn't hustle the car too much early. Picked off his spots. He got around Rafferty. He's past Brandon now. You look at a guy like Dave Bodio. Last time by, 1987. He is running lap times equal with Ty Majeski right now. It's all good in the 16 camp. You think we're just biding our time and riding and just knowing, hey, let this race come to us? They probably got to stop at least one time, do you think?
I would think so. You're going to want to make at least one stop. But that statement you made, it really makes you think if the 16 is saving anything. He's running equivalent lap times to Ty Majeski. That means either Majeski's saving or Bodio is pushing it, because Majeski is just, he's methodical. He is a machine behind the wheel. He hits his points, he hits his apexes every single lap perfectly. I think Dave Bodio might be pushing it a bit, and frankly, I agree with that decision. It's lap 70. You're starting to get into the meat and bones of the race. You're going to have to make a pit stop. You don't want to let Majeski get away, and you can use this lap traffic to your advantage.
Certainly can. Yeah, exactly right. I think that's exactly what they're doing is Ty's catching him and putting him down. Dave Bodio is doing the same thing and starting to cut into the lead. It was 1.8. Well, now it's going back up to 2 seconds, so I think there's a little bit of cat and mouse happening up there, racing there with Ty Majeski. You almost feel like John Gerard is in that number 191 car leading the race. Remember that guy from movie Talladega Nights, the Frenchie? I almost feel like that's a guy out there just sipping a scone and wheeling away around and doing a hell of a job. But I'm back here watching this little game of cat and mouse we picked up to about 15 laps ago. Dooley's 99 car, O'Danik's number 21, the 41 of Junior Harville. They have run nose to tail. I think the 21 is a little bit faster than Jeff right now. He just, for whatever reason, won't take the spot. He's had a run about 8 or 9 times. Just refuses to take it out front. I wonder why that is.
I'm really not sure. I'm going to take a ride along here personally and see what it is. Is his car getting tight off the corner? Oh, he's getting very loose off the corner. That's what it is. It seems like Dooley is fighting the same condition. Now actually riding in the cockpit with these guys, it looks like O'Danik is tight in and starting to get loose off as he gets another run on Dooley. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to get it going into turn 1, though.
No, he'll have to ride back in line. He'll take that different arc into the corner. Almost upsets the run. Almost lets Harville's 41 get there.
Oh, Dooley in the wall.
Oh, Dooley hit the wall, and he may have a problem as that car really took a dive to the right. Maybe he'd have stepped out that far. Jeff Dooley was running up there in 5th, and now was going to lose a spot to even the 13 of Brad Carpenter around. So Dooley had a little bit of an issue, and he may have hurt something with that right front tire. That thing hit pretty good, and these open wheels, they're highly unprotected.
He's in trouble for sure. I'm looking at his in-car, and when he's going down the straightaway, his wheel is about 1 o'clock. It's possible that that's how he has the car set up, but he is just, I'm watching him, he is fighting this car. It is loose as can be.
Now, talking the loose condition, now, they were a lot of guys were talking tight early on as we get, as the sun sets, the darkness starts to fall, the track may pick up some extra speed as it cools down. Is that going to change the way these cars feel? Dooley's around.
It's definitely changing a lot as Dooley goes for a spin there.
Oh,
Such
my
a loose
goodness.
race car. He tows it back to pit lane. That looks like it's going to be his night. He's going to be at least 3 or 4 laps down at this point.
Oh my goodness, and that thing took an abrupt snap right there, and I don't know if it was just the way the wheel was cocked after hitting the wall or whatever it was, but Jeff Dooley's car went for a wild ride, and that's going to slow us down. 76 laps in, our 4th yellow flag of the night, brought to you by Team Hard Motorsports, so I'm sure Jack will go back and take a quick peek at it, but Jeff Dooley's car almost looked like, I don't know if the back end really stepped out that far or something just broke. I mean, that was an abrupt spin.
Oh, we were in the cockpit of that as well. I was watching it on my end. It looked like he was just so loose fighting that car anytime he got on throttle. Ty Majeski comes to pit road, looking like a lot of the leaders are going to pit. But I think what his issue might have been is the rear stagger on these cars is incredibly sensitive. And if you don't know, what that does is that's the physical distance between the 2 rear tires. So the wider it is, the higher the rear stagger, the looser the car is when you're on the gas. So you touch the gas, that's what makes the car want to spin itself around. And if it's too low, the stagger is too low, when you get on the throttle, it wants to take itself right into the wall. It looks like he had it adjusted just way too much. As soon as he was hitting the throttle, that car was spinning around.
There was. That thing was around. It took a hard hit to a nose and something maybe terminally broken because it looks like they've cut the motor off, and it looks like Jeff Dooley, a guy who was up in the top 5, well, even shy of halfway, looks like his night is going to be all done. That is a tough break for a guy who said a very accomplished SK modified driver, jumping out there in these big 650 horsepower Whelen modified cars, and now find himself onto pit road. I've been watching down here at Ty Majeski camp. It's a long extended stop down there. I'm not sure if they put fuel in the car, but I'm watching drivers go on by. Now he rejoins. That was a long stop from the guy who led this race early on, or this may be playing with the crowd or playing with the group. Do you think we may have had something wrong?
He had a bit of contact there with, it looked like O'Danick there, but...
Oh, no.
Very, very, very mild contact. But, yeah, that was interesting. I was watching that as well. Looks like we had some 2-tire stops, and if you take a look up at the top of the board now, there he is, Keith Jeffrey. Probably took 2 tires, and he's up at the front now. Kyle Amon as well, we were talking about him, and Dave Bodio in 5th place. Ty Majeski all the way back to 10th place. I'm not sure if maybe he left the fuel checked, and he added some fuel to the race car, but something happened there. He's all the way back to 13th now, and it's going to be interesting to watch him race his way to the front. With 4 tires, is that going to make that much of a difference over the guys who took 2? We're going to find out.
Oh, we got a situation here, as we talked about Keith Jeffrey, being up front. Well, now he's on pit road. He's taking left side tires, so I think he was in last time taking 2 rights. Now he's going to put the 2 lefts on, so looks like going to have all 4 fresh. No, he come in, so this time it's just 2 left side tires for Keith, so he must have took right sides before. I don't think we have 3 tires in this simulation yet.
No, we do not. That's pretty interesting then. I'm interested to see how this plays out. It's all sorts of mayhem going on that we're still trying to figure out up here in the booth.
We do that a lot, and you get there to one of these pavement races, especially in iRacing, where a guy like Neely has modern experience to it. Yeah, it's gonna throw for a loop. So we were getting ready for a restart. That's been waved off. It looks like we got timing and scoring to try to figure out, and guys to get sorted back out. Was I believe there was some confusion about when pit road was open, so I think that's kind of jumbled up the scenario as well. But Junior Harville, what I do know for sure, the 41 car is going to lead this race over Chris Forster. Glenn Presso, the 99 now, currently running up there in the 3rd position. Kyle O'Danick is 4th. Bobby Rafferty now up at the top 5. Kyle Ammon running in 6th. Steve Costley is currently scored 7th. Keith Jeffrey 8th. Dave Bodio 9th, and Rick Webster, board number 18. That's going to make up our top 10. It looks like we still got scoring issues to resolve there as they waved off yet another restart. To update some of the guys running up front earlier, Brandon Wilkinson is currently running at 11th. Chris Hyatt 12th. Ty Majeski finds himself back there at 13th, because it looks like that may even be adjusted now. As looks like we may have had some transponder disformities out here as Keith and the gang are trying to work this out, who should be where. So not exactly sure what's going on, but I guess we'll find out together.
Absolutely. Brandon Wilkinson is now up to 9th. Looks like everyone got bumped up 2 positions. Steven Rogers is in 12th, and Steve Costley back in 13th. Kyle Odanik, now 14th, is the last car on the lead lap. First car lap down is Brad Carpenter in the 13. And like we said, we're still just trying to figure it out here. Jeff Dooley has put the car on the trailer, and they have left the track. He is no longer here. He was running top 5. Sad to see. But I think a lot of other drivers are seeing that now and going, oh my gosh, what am I going to do when this car starts to get loose? It is so easy with how much horsepower these cars have to get on the gas a little too early, and it just goes around on you. And once you're around, it's too late. You got to just ride it out.
You'll have to wait and see. We'll feel it out as well, as I believe they've got scoring kind of all sorted out. I don't see the pace car lights going back on. It may be time for a restart. So Junior Harville, Chris Forster, Bobby Rafferty, Kyle Ammon, Keith Jeffrey going to be our official top 5. We go back under the iRacingGuyFlag.com. Green flag 85 now, 200 on the board.
Ty Majeski is starting all the way back in 10th position. Maybe he got a penalty coming off pit road or something like that, because he was single file towards the back. As he's now stuck behind a slower car, he's going to have to go to the outside. And almost an incident there. Someone got down onto the apron, but Ty Majeski, he's got a big job in front of him to work his way all the way up to the front now.
Now, for a guy like him, as accomplished as he is, if he put himself behind the one by a mistake or whatever, I'm going to tell you what, it's going to be fun to watch him start to come up through the field. He's to the low side of the 12 car, puts down a spot on Chris Hyatt. Now look up in front of Chris. You've got a guy like Rick Webster's number 18. Can Ty chase him down? Well, he certainly can. Motors to the inside is like a warm knife through butter, up down to the top 10. 71 car up on the wall as well, and Ty will claim him. So in a one lap, he's gained 3 spots.
You know what? Line him up and knock him down as he comes up on even more cars. He's all the way up to 8th place now. It's amazing. I'm sitting and watching his cockpit camera. It is just amazing. He is methodical, hitting every single apex perfectly as he makes a dive bomb now to the bottom. He wants to get back to the front, and he is not going to let anyone get in his way. As he makes another run, might have a good run on 38 here.
That was Brandon Wilkinson. He just put down a position there. Now he's got Kyle Ammon up ahead, and don't look now. Ty Majeski currently 7th last time by, and that may change to get one more because Kyle's up ahead. Dave Bodio's number 16. And these are fast cars, and he's just kind of driving through them. So let's see if he can chase him down. Majeski certainly on the move, currently running in 7th, but the race leader up front. Let's cover the race leader as we can. Junior Harville is up front. Him and Chris Forster, they've kind of put a little gap between themselves in 3rd place, Bobby Rafferty.
Yeah, about 3 seconds worth. I'm not sure what all happened to get 3 seconds away in front of the field. But Harville and Chris Forster are within 3/10 of each other. Then 3 seconds back to Bobby Rafferty. Keith Jeffrey, a guy you always got to keep your eye on in the 88. About 8/10 back behind Rafferty. He is in 4th place. Round out your top 5, Dave Bodio.
Hey, Bodio doing a hell of a job there. 88 car, still equally fast. I wonder how that 2 tires will play. I got to imagine now, you think they pitted at about 120 laps to go. I don't think it's unheard of for a guy to, I don't think fuel's going to be an issue, but tire wear. How are tires going to play it, especially as this racetrack gets more grip? We go a little bit faster. It's going to change the handle of the race cars. Is that going to wear the tires even further? I mean, I would think so.
I'm not sure if it's so much the track conditions, but it's going to be the extra speed. That makes an impact on it, and when guys are going faster, they're thinking to themselves, okay, I can push it a little bit more. I got a little bit more in this car, and that's what wears the tires down. I don't think it's going to be the conditions. It's going to be the mental game of the driver saying, I can push this a little bit further, and that's what'll get it.
All right, so I'm going to tell you what here. In about 5 laps, we're going to go into some uncharted territory that we don't see here too often on the Full Velocity Racing Network. We're going to put 100 laps on the board. Now, for guys like myself who do a lot of stuff at NR 2003. We see a lot of Super Speedway races out there doing pavement. Of course, we've been out here doing some short track racing at EastWest for a little while. But I'm going to tell you what, guys like myself, we don't get past 100 laps very often. So I may have to pace myself a little bit. I might have to really hold my game up here. As 95 laps go on the board, I'm used to these quick hitting 50, 60 lap features. 200 at this racetrack, I mean, we got a little extra distance here flavor tonight. Long endurance race. It takes me back to years ago. Jeff, I may be too young for you to remember this. Ever heard of the Thompson 300?
I've heard stories, but I never saw one or anything like that. No, and with Thompson the way it is now, I don't think we're even going to see 300 miles at that track.
It's a shame, man. That's such a sore spot for me to even think about what's going on there right now. Can't believe a place that just is a foundation of my youth in racing right there. It's maybe going up in smoke here the next couple of years. Unfathomably what is going up there right now. But the Thompson 300 for years and years, back in the days, the early 80s, mid 80s, late, early 90s even, 300 laps, you'd start 50 cars, you race what you brung. Some of the greatest of the greats that have ever done this here in the Wayland Modifieds won that race. But that was a war of attrition. And I had the pleasure of calling a couple 300s over the years. And I'm going to tell you what, you want to talk about endurance racing? Think about what we see with NASCAR on Sunday afternoon. It's just that. And I feel like 200 laps here, that's pretty close to a big race field like that.
Absolutely. I did 150 laps. It was that the Doug Covey race, the one that got away from him. And I was the pit road announcer down there, the one that got sent in to ask the guy that led 147 of 156 laps run. They came over, my headset, the producer did, and he said, hey, go talk to him. You got to go talk to Doug Covey. And I said, oh, sure thing, boss. It sounds great to me. So I go over, and having just led 147 laps and lost the race, I go over and I say to him at the instruction of my boss, so, you're heartbroken after that race. Tell us a little more about it. And Doug Covey had his now famous quote. So my point being, tensions get very high when you are sitting in one of these cars. So it's going to be interesting after 200 laps. That's a long race behind the wheel. We're complaining up here about how long it is. Man, oh man, behind the wheel, you've got to
Never complaining.
Yeah, perfect precision. Right, never complaining, but noting how long this race is, being down there in the car, it's going to be interesting. And that's something I want to hear about from the drivers is, how was it at lap 100? What were you feeling knowing you had 100 more to go?
You ain't kidding. That's a story we'll definitely be telling here over the course of the rest of the night as we put 100 laps on the board now, working lap 103. And I'm watching the likes of Majeski back there. He's currently up now to 6th as fella, I think Kyle Amon, who lost a spot. Kyle O'Danick was up there as well. He's lost a position. So that 191 car is buzzing along, and he has run down the likes of Dave Bodio. We got Keith Jeffrey up there, and even a little bit off in the distance ahead, Bobby Rafferty, who's currently running in 3rd. So this little group back here running 4th, 5th, and 6th, it's pretty good little race right now off of 2.
You get one guess at who the fastest car on track is right now. One guess.
If I could take the 191 of Majeski, that's who I'm taking. I think he's quick.
He is a 10th faster than the field
My
right
goodness.
now. Yeah. Catching up. He is the only person running 19.6s, and he is now catching up. I think he's going to let this battle in front of him go out, probably jump on with Dave Bodio and go past Keith Jeffrey. As soon as they're both clear, he'll get past Bodio as well.
Absolutely. His A start was tearing through this field as that Majeski machine is. Good little race, said Bodio and Jeffrey, a couple of teammates up there racing ahead. But how about Junior Harville? Let's give some love to the guy out there racing out there 107 laps into this event, 200 laps going around. Him and Chris Forrester, they ran away 3 seconds on that last restart about 25 laps ago. It has stayed consistent. They're still 3 seconds ahead up front, and so far smooth sailing. Both those cars look like they're handling really good.
Yeah, I would say they are. They are running within 1/1000 of each other. 19.805 to a 19.804. That is absolutely amazing. And they did it again, a second lap in a row. Junior Harville, a 19.799, and Chris Forrester, 19.8 on the dot. That is absolutely amazing. 2 laps in a row to be running within 1/1000 of the guy in front of you.
Tells you about what it's like to race in one of these cars on pavement, be consistent lap after lap, and I mean, these guys are pretty much on equal footing right now, too, doing a heck of a job. Got to give a shout to that number 13 car on Brad Carpenter. He's been running right in their tire tracks for a couple laps as well, and I look down here and I see Brad, the first car, 1 lap down, running in 15th, so maybe off the lead lap, but a 15th place run right now is where one half the way in. That's not a bad night. There's still a lot of laps left here to go.
As long as you're the first car a lap down, it's
Hell yeah.
perfectly fine. You know, you get that lucky dog, you come in, you pit, you get 4 tires. It's definitely not the end of your night. The only thing that would ruin Carpenter's night is if there's no caution, we go green to the end, which is quite a possibility. That would be interesting to see.
It feels like that has potential right now, doesn't it? Is they're kind of all fanned out. Everybody's, at the most part, running their own race, I would say. So it's not unheard of. We could go the distance from here, caution free, and I wouldn't put it past these guys at EastWest to do so. I think they're by far and away the best Whelen modified group I've seen in iRacing. They put some terrific racing on. They do a hell of a job here. Keith and Kyle do with the administration. So guys looking for a really good open wheel modified lead to come and run, check out EastWest Promotions. Find them in iRacing. Find them on social media through Facebook. A great follow. They post a couple of times a week, and you can also throw your hat in the ring and come be a part of this great crew. And the great news is we'll be here every Thursday night live on the air for the Bounce-O season, which I can't wait because I love this series. It's a lot of fun to cover.
It absolutely is. It's amazing watching some of these guys out there. What's going to be interesting is Bobby Rafferty is gaining on the leaders. He is gaining by 1/3 of a tenth a lap on average, roughly give or take 1/3 to 1/2 of a tenth per lap. He doesn't have enough time at this rate to catch up to the leaders. So if this race stays green, it's entirely possible that they will not be able to catch Harville and Forster if they continue gaining at this rate. And they actually just fell back a tenth. That puts them back 2 to 3 laps now.
Well, don't look now for what may be happening, but I think Ty Majeski may have heard you because he turned that wick on. He made his way around Dave Bodio, and that was giving Keith Jeffrey a run for his life down at 1 and 2. And he's starting to feel out some of the groove. He's letting it roll through the middle, almost diamonding the corner, if you will. Ty Majeski's car now running in 5th is on the move, but he may be feeling this race may stay green. He may be having to go for a guy like him who currently runs 5th. I don't think he's going to be content running 5th.
Oh, certainly not. Certainly not. If you've been leading the race the entire time, you know you're the fastest car on track. It's frustrating being stuck behind someone. No matter how clean they race you, you're sitting there saying, I just want more. I just want a little bit more. As Bodio even tries to make a run on the inside. He's having some trouble getting around Keith Jeffrey, that's a pretty common headline here. Keith Jeffrey is a very good, consistent driver where he pushes it just enough that you're not going to be able to get a run on him.
Not at all. That's a really good segue right there because as you were talking about the 88, I was over here pulling over my sheets and looking at the series points for the series entering the night as I got the top 20. There they go, right there. Keith Jeffrey leads the points, 564 over Dave Bodio's 549. A third-place runner is Chris Forster. Chris has scored 482 points. Tyler Chadwick. Tyler not here with us tonight, which is weird. But Tyler 4th in the standings at 446, 445. Rounds out the top 5 for the likes of Mr. Kyle O'Danick. Steve Rogers, 6th in the standings, followed by Scott Bryant, Glenn Pressel, and Justin Carey, who's out there the 42 car doing a good job. That's our top 10 of the standings. Keith Jeffrey leads the points, and if you're going to win a championship, and yeah, we're still kind of early in, midway through the year, you got to be consistent and log really good finishes. I say a top 5 qualifies.
Absolutely a top 5 would qualify. It's not the fastest guy ever, it's not the fastest guy 1 week that wins the championship. It's the most consistent driver. And if you're consistently first, hey, that's great. But if you're consistently top 5 as well, that'll do it. You have to be, the champion isn't the fastest driver, it's the most consistent. That's the way it crumbles. And right now, he's consistently holding off Ty Majeski every single lap. He tries to get a run, and Ty Majeski just can't seem to find his way around this 88.
Oh, and he's doing, I think, all he can. He's floated the car up high. He's charted it down low. Keith Jeffrey doing a hell of a job. And that's what I expect from the Jim Beaver Esports team, that number 88. They got a group of guys out there that really do a hell of a job. You got Rafferty out there with top 3. Guys like Dave Bodio were very acclaimed. I mean, when you see that paint scheme come out there, you know those guys are for real. They do a hell of a job. But, running back there 3rd, 4th, and 5th, 6th, Majeski right in the middle of them. But I am really astounded watching the race leader here up front. Junior Harville, a little while ago you looked and you saw Chris Forster hanging right with him. Well, he's pulled Chris down out to about a full second. Junior Harville, that's a guy right there. A name we don't talk and give enough love to. Leads this race 125 laps in and is doing it in style. He's got the field gapped by over a second.
Yeah, it looks like Chris Forster is just slowing down his pace now because the distance, from 1st to 3rd is still just at 3 seconds. So he's holding that lead right at 3 seconds over third place Bobby Rafferty. So Chris Forster's starting to slow down a bit. Maybe he's burned through his stuff, which is a pretty bad problem to have at lap 127 and 200.
You got that right.
We had a love tap there from Ty Majeski into the back of Keith Jeffrey. Coming out of turn 4, he gave him a quick little shove. It looks like, from what I'm seeing, Ty Majeski is just really, really tight going into the corner. Now in lap traffic, this is where tensions start to get high. This is where people start to get annoyed, because those lap cars, they're racing for position. They could end up being the lucky dog if the car heading them wrecks. So what they have to do is fight for position. Sometimes it gets in the way of the lead lap cars, but that seems to be what happens here as Keith Jeffrey tries to make his way around. Ty Majeski tight in, loose off. That's what it looks like from my perspective.
Yeah, and having that car wash around, Dave Bonio had to run to the low side there that last time off at 2, and I thought he may take a run, but a veteran like Dave thought better of that, falls back in line. But these cars are starting to slip slide around. They're not quite handling as good as they once were about 50 laps ago when they were on the pit lane now, are they?
Absolutely not. And the two most important words, throttle control, throttle control, throttle control is everything with these cars. If you get in the gas too fast, you're going to have the same thing that happened to Jeff Dooley coming off a turn. You're going to get it right up into the wall, and that'll end your night really quick. Ty Majeski, he's very patient on the throttle. He's never fully lifting. He's always got control of the throttle and a little bit in it, but when he's coming off the corner, you're starting to see him get a bit loose, so he's going to have to adjust his driving style accordingly.
But tell you what, I wish we could ask Mr. Rafferty how his car is handling right now, because that thing looks evil tight entering the corner and bad loose touching a throttle off, because he about stacked them all up through 3 and 4 that time. Idiot of Jeffrey is definitely quicker. I think Rafferty's handle was really going away. Look at the way that car pushes up the hill. It stepped out loose and this is pushed. That's pushing loose is never a good thing.
Absolutely not. It seems like everyone's starting to have the same issue. Really tight in and really loose off. So that's going to be interesting to see how to counter it. Because it's hard. That's a rear stagger adjustment is the way to fix that. But you can't make that during the race. That's something that's set beforehand, and it stays that way the entire time. So these guys are just along for the ride at this point.
They're doing one heck of a job. Nice good race between teammates. Door to door off turn number 2. They've been for about a lap and a half now. Rafferty holding off the best shot from Mr. Jeffrey there. Keith Jeffrey's number 88 down low. And Rafferty and Bobby did a good job. He's going to hold on to the spot. And now look at the outside lane possibly open up. Majeski going to run to the top lane. Ty Majeski going to pass Keith Jeffrey on the high lane? I think so. They're door to door off at 2 is. Oh, we're going to slow it down. Yellow flag on the racetrack. Oh, boy.
That's going to be interesting to see.
Down.
Oh, is the car upside down? Uh-oh.
Oh, not a car. It flips the race upside down now.
Oh, I thought a car was upside down.
No, not yet.
I don't see this. We are still out here searching for the wreck, but that really changes everything now. So do you come in? Do you take 4? I think you've got to take 4 at this point.
You have to do something. If you're Junior Harville, God, he took 2 last time in. I mean, you got to be stressing. 91 car of Jim Caesar was involved. Jim's back there running. Currently 21st, 12 laps down. Uh-oh, selfie. We're going to pull out the Full Velocity Racing Network selfie stick. Jim Caesar's 91 car. He went around all by his lonesome, a big selfie. So everybody say, hey, to Mr. Caesar. He gets a selfie stick tonight.
Now, we'll see if Ty Majeski has a bit better of a pit stop this time around. He had some issues last time, worked his way up 5 positions, but we'll see if he can get off pit road and who beats him off.
We'll wait and see. While we're sitting down there, I'm going to let you watch the stop, because I see right side tires at least going in the air on the 191. Let's take a word here now. We're getting our second in-race reporter tonight. I want to make sure we get to him, because I hate to leave these guys hanging that came over to volunteer for this. And that is our friend Justin Carey aboard car number 42. Justin currently out there 1 lap down in the top 15. Justin, it's Phil from Full Velocity, my friend. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, doing pretty good. Had a bad pit stop last time, got a lap down, but luckily here we're going to get our lap back, so should be able to go race here the last 63 laps.
Tell you what, cars look really good. You've been right around. So top car a lap down, going to get back to the lead lap, and you've been hanging strong with the drivers that are up there running about 6th, 7th, and 8th. I mean, a good solid top 10 run coming for that 42?
Yeah, I definitely think we have it. Car's been good all night. It's really good in the long run. Some of the short runs we struggled, which kind of got us behind early with all them yellow flags we had. But on these long runs, it's pretty good, and hopefully we can keep going to the front.
Now talk about pitting this time under the yellow. We've been talking amongst ourselves up here. 2 tires, 4 tires. Is 4 tires with the lucky dog the way to go? Is it? Can you make enough time on pit road without losing a lap taking 4 tires?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's that mistake at the way ran. We're not going to get a pit this time, but if I was one of the leaders, I'd probably have taken 4 tires. 4 tires are very important here, but we're going to have to go on old tires and hope we can get to the front.
You need a quick yellow, my friend. That's what you're going to need. Well, Justin, we appreciate you hanging out Team Speak with us here tonight. Glad to get you here under the yellow. And I know with old tires, they're probably 50 laps worn. You're slipping and sliding. Good luck the rest of the night, man. Give that thing a good ride. We're going to root for a yellow flag for you to put 4 freshies out there and go mix it up with these cats.
Thanks, I appreciate it, and thank you guys for everything you do for us.
We appreciate you guys for sure putting this great show on. Our buddy Justin Carey aboard car number 42. We don't get to talk to a lot of these guys enough, so I'm really glad, Jeff, we got a guy like Justin here. Him and Bobby stepped up tonight to be in-race reporters, and we certainly appreciate all the help.
It's a lot of fun being a driver and a pit race reporter. You know, being out there driving and under caution. You hear that little jingle that you've been pulled into a channel. I think it makes their night just as much as it makes ours.
I think it really does, and it's always great to get new names and voices here into the conversation, get them out there, and hope you guys are enjoying the show. The Resolution 200 brought to you by the EastWest Promotions Modified Tour. Awesome night here. Glad you guys have chosen to tune in here through Facebook Live and YouTube and Twitch TV. And I'm going to tell you what, 140 laps in, the Resolution 200. That's the key word, resolution. As we go back to green flag racing, any New Year's resolutions for you, Mr. McConey?
Well, I've said it for years, but I actually would love to drive an actual car in an actual race at Stafford Motor Speedway. I'm trying to get that done over with the Rent a Race Car crew. If you are near Stafford Motor Speedway, to throw out a quick little advertisement here, if you're near Stafford Motor Speedway and you go to Rent a Race Car on Facebook, you can actually get it all set up with their Gary Spinato, amazing guy, and you can go and drive one of those actual cars. You will drive a street stock in a real, in all the practices, in the heats, and in the feature, you will be racing. You are a NASCAR sanctioned driver. One of the coolest things. That is my New Year's resolution, is to drive in one of those cars in that race. How about yourself?
Run a race car, man. That sounds pretty good. Well, what I want to, I don't know if I really have a resolution for 2020. I mean, we put out over 350 shows in Velocity last year, so I don't think it could be anything racing-wise. If I got something, a resolution for the year, to go out there and see a race here, see one of these mighty modified races in live and in living color. It's probably been almost a decade since I see them in person. So yeah, I want to go out maybe to Thompson or to Stafford and take a race in. So if I get a resolution for 2020, return to my roots, go back to a short track where we're local to. So I guess that's what I'll take.
I'll tell you what, if you are out near Stafford and you come to a race on Friday night,
hell yes,
I will absolutely get down into the garage. I can give you a tour of everything around there, get you all back up into your old stomping ground. I think that'd be a great time.
It's been 20 years since I set foot in that joint, so that'd be really cool with you. It's been a long time, but we got a race going on out here, man. I'll tell you what, Keith Jeffrey now assumes the lead over Bobby Rafferty, and Ty Majeski is up to third, but I'm not sure how Dave Bodia feels about that, because those two got together through 3 and 4. I don't know if it was a little bit of hit check or good hard racing, but the 16 car took a little bit of a right turn, almost grazed it off the wall, and now Ty Majeski finds himself running in third. So Dave has lost some time and is probably going to have to regroup himself. He's going to run out of time because we're bordering pretty close to 50 laps remaining.
Yep, 53 more times around. We are on lap 148 here. Ty Majeski down to the apron there, trying to get a run on Bobby Rafferty, who shut the door pretty quickly on him. So tempers get pretty short, and one of the most frustrating things, speaking from personal experience, when you're driving on here, is when the door just gets slammed shut on you. You're sitting there thinking, regardless of if it's true or not, you're thinking, what is that guy doing? He is absolutely out of his mind. So that could be just a tiny little bit. That could be the straw that breaks the camel's back and makes Ty Majeski want to get a run here as soon as he gets the opportunity. We'll have to see.
And that could also present the ability for an angry interview post-race. And that could be a lot of fun because We don't get these moments too often here on Full Velocity. Well, we get it from time to time, mainly on the dirt, but they race for a lot of money, and that's where tempers really get going. But we're not racing for a cash prize here, so we'll have to wait and see as these guys wheeling around now, putting lap 150 on the board for Keith Jeffrey leads over Bobby Rafferty. Ty Majeski running in position number 3. Brandon Wilkinson now. We haven't talked about Brandon here in a little while. The number 56 car now up into P4. We know he's got a good piece. Can Brandon Wilkinson find something in that race car to maybe go up there and get it done?
Absolutely. If he just plays his cards right, saves his tires, he could be the one that comes out on top here. Would not surprise me. I think anyone in the top 5, really the top 7, Kyle O'Danick, could be foolish to count him out. But all the way back to Dave Bodio, those guys got a good chance of taking away this race here, as Bobby Rafferty is doing his best to stay right on the back bumper.
I want to give an attaboy award for what's going on out there tonight, and it's going to be the driver, that number 89, Steve Rogers. Started 16th, is now up there running in the 6th spot. A guy who came within an eyelash of winning his first ever race over here at EastWest a couple of weeks ago. Lost it in turn number 4, coming to the white flag, spun the car out, finished out of the top 3. But I am proud to see the 89 up there running. But some of these guys out there tonight, Steve Rogers running in 6th. That's my attaboy award tonight. That's a hell of a good run. Good job, Steve.
Congratulations to him. A great run going on as Bobby Rafferty is now getting close. I think the biggest thing I'm noticing with him behind the wheel, maybe we can get an in-car camera with him. Look at how much he's moving the wheel down in the turns. It's, as he gets a little loose off of turn 2 there. But that's what wears the tires down. The more you move the wheel, the more the tires get worn. So he's going all the way there, hard 90 degrees, and then he's fighting the wheel all the way back straight. I don't know if that's just a poor handling race car or what, but that could be what kills him on the long run here, is he's fighting that car quite a bit more than anybody else I've noticed.
Certainly is, and that's a really good insight right there. And maybe something I need to relearn how to not oversteer the car and put so much wheel in it and really kill tires. I find myself really slow here lately running, and that's probably a good reason why, because I think I've kind of became a Sally, and I worry about wearing my tires out, and I think sometimes I go too slow and still put too much wheel input in it. So thank you, Jeff. Engineering guy, in school like you are, I'm going to learn from you. I'm going to tell you what. I'm gonna figure out how to race again.
Is that your New Year's resolution, is learn how to race again?
No. Maybe work a little bit less, but I guess I'll wait and see. I think that's all our resolution. Work less, play more. That sounds really good. Let's throw that one out there. Todd Stan, if you're listening, we love you, brother. You'll take. Maybe Jack can work a little less too. That sound good for you, Jack? You've been killing it too. Won't happen. That's right. We don't stop working out here. That's why we're the world heavyweight champion of the online sim race broadcast world. We live right here on the Full Velocity Racing Network, and really happy you tuned in this evening. Now we've got an old-fashioned Friday night SK Modified featuring Stafford Motor Speedway. 40 laps around. Can Keith Jeffrey hold off likes of Rafferty and a hard-charging Ty Majeski? Ty throws it in deep. They're door to door for 3 and 4.
And a caution comes out right as Majeski gets a run, and it looks like, oh my goodness, he would have had the run coming off for it, and Bobby Rafferty is saying a prayer to every saint he can think of, because man, oh man, if that caution was 5-6 seconds later, he would have been passed.
All right, it looks like that one may be involving a 21 of Kyle O'Danick. I believe there was contact with him out there. We're tough to see from here who it was, but he's calling out, hey, my bad, I cut you off, I took away your run. So, I don't know if that was Steve Rogers got on the wall, so Kyle may be being really nice there, but hard racing, and that's what hard-ass racing does. It brings out a yellow flag. I believe this would be number, 6 or 7? I've lost my scratch pad, and I'll tell you what, I'm running out of gas, 160 laps in. I need to find our friend Katie for the pit pass as well, because how's the bladder holding up question like after a 200-lap enduro the other night? I'm kind of feeling that too.
It looked like this caution, Kyle Amon in the 17 just got a little loose coming off the corner, and that took him up into Justin Carey. Carey goes around actually in front of the leaders. Oh, I'm sorry, I had it confused. O'Danick goes around in front of the leaders, and Carey was the one that got loose and sent him around. So just a racing deal, a little bobble with the loose off the corner, and we bring out another caution here.
All right, and now we can also report the race leaders have come down on pit road for at least 2 right side tires on time. Majeski was down. I think Rafferty was in. I believe even the 88 car may have come down for tires there. Or maybe I'm wrong. I know Ty was down there, but I'll have to go back and rewind here as I was reading some things off here. Oh, Chief Jeffrey's leading, so I'm looking out there. Where did they start coming in? Or do we have guys who didn't come in? Was everybody from Majeski on back? I know Junior Hartwell was in. I know for sure we found Justin Carey, I believe, may have come in there as well. I believe. And I think Brandon Wilkerson did as well. So I think all those guys came down on pit road. Majeski, slow crew there on the 191. He's going to have to charge himself back up through his field again from what looks like around 8th or 9th. So with a little less than 40, 35 laps called to do it, things are about to get interesting.
I don't know. That's a tall order to pass that many cars, starting all the way back in 8th place. That's a tall order in just under 40 laps.
But we're about to get it on and get it done here because we're going to wait and see. Is Kyle Ammon going to go to the end of the longest line there? So it looks like he's going to be put on the penalty there for that most recent yellow flag. Him and O'Danick go to the rear of the field. So just kind of looking on out, glancing on the surface. And I tell you what, we made it to give the ghost up here real shortly because I'm hoping my bladder will make here full away, but I'm not thinking that may be an issue at this moment.
It's, yeah, there's a lot of issues in this race.
Depends time. We don't get commercials here tonight. We're short track racing, so no long elongated breaks, so take the headset off and run. I bet you Jack could, but I don't think Jeff and I can do so. Yeah,
he's just admitted to doing it under the last caution. My goodness.
Well, he can, and I'll tell you what, the guy can get up and come back into his chair in 30 seconds. Not exactly sure how he does it, but I'll tell you what, we're going to be a couple of E's and Ahs when this one is done. I'm going to tell you, but looks like the lights are out. We're getting ready to go back to green. Keith Jeffrey and Bobby Rafferty.
We got a caution
back. Oh, we got Big Rack.
Rodeo is up in the air and around.
Oh my goodness, there are cars tore up. They're still wrecking down the front stretch. This almost looks like the Enduro we called last night. What in the world? Somebody spun their tires, didn't go. Parking lot on the front chute.
Chris Forster spun his tires on the start, or maybe it was a bit of netco with Bodio getting into him. He was running him low, and Bodio got up in the air. His car went around. Doesn't look like he hit anything, and then it was just mayhem from there. People running into each other, people checking up. But that is huge for this race. That is huge implications for this race.
All right, well, for the sake of the argument, as we're under the yellow flag once again, Jack will show you a replay. These announcers, I'll tell you what, we're going to take a quick pause here under the yellow flag. Call this potty break time. Sam, thank you for the stars, bud. We'll be right back here live in your source of esports racing. All right, we can happily report in that we're good. The bladder is empty. I think Jeff's back with me too, so feeling much better and ready to enthusiastically call the last 30 laps list when we look up front. Keith Jeffrey, Bobby Rafferty. How about the rebound run for the guy from Montville there? Kyle O'Danick running in third. Brandon Wilkinson and Ty Majeski, the number 191. He's going to restart fifth, and we know that guy knows how to wheel a race car. This is going to be fun here for 30 laps.
It definitely is, and you know what? I'm gonna make a bit of an early call, maybe a controversial call, but with 30 laps to go here, I think Keith Jeffrey's gonna be able to win it. No one's been able to get past him. That's the one common thread, is that he's been able to get around people, but nobody's really been able to pass him. Now that he's out front, he gets a good jump on this restart here and it stays green. I think he's gonna be able to take away the win here, just like the last race at Myrtle Beach.
I'm gonna tell you what. That's a great pick, and I it's hard to bet against that one right now, but I'm gonna pick controversy, and here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Ty Majeski's gonna have a car worthy of winning. He's gonna go up front. The leaders are gonna get together. They're gonna spin. I'm gonna call Brandon Wilkinson's gonna steal this one. He's been quiet most of the night, really quick. I think this one's gonna end with a little bit of controversy involved, and I think we're gonna see the 56's victory lane. That's my pick. I guess it's time to figure it out. As Jack says, Rafferty, that's a great one as well. But we go back under the iRacingIFlag.com green flag, 172 laps on the board.
A single file restart. Ty Majeski immediately makes a run past. He's up to position 4 now, and they are single file all the way back. Ty Majeski knows it is go time. If he's listening right now, he's going to need to put the pedal to the metal and get around some cars here.
He's going to have to get it done. He's got Kyle O'Danick up ahead. Keith Jeffrey with clear racetrack. He's pulled out to about a 3-car length advantage between himself and teammate Bobby Rafferty. I am so proud of Bobby. He's having one hell of a night in the 7-car, currently running in second. But Keith Jeffrey, man, you said he's going to be tough to pass. He's starting to pull himself away from a really hard group of top 5 runners behind him.
The best thing that he can possibly see is that it takes Ty Majeski a couple laps here, because he's the fastest car on track. Majeski is. He has been all night. There's no doubt about it. But it's going to take some time to get around, and he needs a fight with Rafferty, between Majeski and Rafferty, I should say, and that would be a saving grace. And he's probably looking in the rearview and pretty happy that Majeski just caught the apron and had a bit of a bobble there. They are back to single file.
He certainly are. He had the run. Now it looks like Brandon Wilkinson may get a run on him. You look right behind them. We got a race brewing for 6. We talked to Justin Carey a little bit ago. Well, him and Junior Harville, that's a pretty spirited battle. Give it to Harville, but Carey back on the move. And here comes Dave Bodio. Can Dave rebound? They're door-to-door with Carey over in turn 3.
Dave Bodio, it looks like his patience has run out as he actually gave a bit of a shove there. The 42 tried to come back down, maybe get back in front of him, and Bodio said no, not happening at all.
Patience. Who's got patience almost 180 laps in? It's time to go. It's time to hand out the trophy. It's time to hand the points out, the virtual money. So, yeah, you got to go. Dave is trying to do so. Keep Jeffrey up front, leading Bobby Rafferty by 3 car lengths. And you got to think he's going to be liking clean racetrack ahead, and the spotter saying as we come to 20 to go, no pressure from behind. Is there a better sound as a driver than that?
Yeah, I think the sound is much better than what he's currently hearing, which is Bobby Rafferty is right on your back bumper as he's within a car length now. Like you said, the patience has run out. There are virtual babes in virtual victory lane that are waiting for someone to greet them over there now, as we are getting down to just about 20 laps to go with Rafferty right within a car length. O'Danick not far behind.
Ever think to yourself, virtual babe in victory lane, maybe we can get a virtual date? Maybe we need to reanalyze what we're doing with our life there, Jeff, if we think about it there for a minute. But we'll leave that for another day and another topic, I guess. But guys can laugh at us out there you're out there still watching through Facebook Live and YouTube and Twitch. Let us know. Virtual babes in victory lane. I'll probably strike out with them too. I'll tell you what. But Keith Jeffrey is a handful of race car right now, and a Nerf bar. That chrome horn from the 7 is looming. I think Rafferty right now may be a tad bit quicker than the 88 out front.
Maybe so. He was actually about half a tenth quicker that last lap around. But now that little bump from Rafferty looks like it gave him a bit of a speed boost. The worst thing that could happen for Bobby Rafferty is for O'Danick to get a run on him. That will absolutely ruin his chances being side by side. That costs you 2 or 3 tenths, as Rafferty now is facing pressure from behind as Majeski's on the outside of O'Danick. O'Danick needs a great run here to get side by side with Rafferty.
Kyle, if you can hear me, brother, keep your foot in that thing. You rolled out of it. You had to run at second, and now you're going to lose third to one of the best out there with Ty Majeski, who's to the outside, and now maybe at the outside lane may clear Kyle. Kyle going to fall back to fourth, and now here comes Wilkinson. You sometimes just have to grow the nerve to drive it in there deep on the bottom and stick with it. And it looks like for Mr. O'Danick, being a gentleman sometimes gets you trampled all over. That's what happened.
Loose, and he's going to go around on the backstretch.
Bobby Rafferty in the inside wall. That car broke loose. He had pressure from behind, but man, that car stepped out wicked yellow on the Speedway, slow him back down. Bobby Rafferty, who had a top 3 run, looks like definitely coming, is now going to be down on pit road. It looks like his night going to be done. That completely stinks.
Oh my goodness, it's just like what we were talking about earlier. Loose off the corner, throttle control. He got just way too loose on exit. Bad engine damage, it sounds like, and the right front is just destroyed on that car. It doesn't look like he'll be able to finish it. If you take a look inside of his car afterwards, when he's come to a full stop, his wheel is at about 2 o'clock, way too far to the right.
Pounding on the steering wheel in just sheer frustration. Man, car goes back to the pit area. I was going to see if we can't grab him. He was one of the in-race reporters, just ejected. Bobby Rafferty out of this event. A certain top 3 or even top 5 for sure was coming, and now is going to finish this one shy behind the wall, 185 laps in. I'm heartbroken for the guy. He was having such a hell of a run.
It's going to be amazing here. This is Keith Jeffrey's worst nightmare. He did not want to go one-on-one with anybody else because he had a bit of a lead going. He was growing that lead. As soon as those guys started getting side by side, he knew he could pull away for the last couple laps. Now he's going to have about a 10-lap shootout with the best iRacer in the world. Mind you, the best iRacer in the world. He's got to go one-on-one with them. It's going to be amazing to watch. And if you're tuned in, Facebook, anywhere else, don't miss it. This is going to be amazing for the last 10 laps, as one of the best of all time on iRacing goes against probably the best in the East-West Modified Series.
You are absolutely right. And if I am Keith Jeffrey right now, I want to go one-on-one with the great one, Ty Majeski. Just bring it. That's what I'm saying if I'm Mr. Jeffrey out there in the 88. They say you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. The man's behind him. But we've seen that Keith Jeffrey is the guy over here at EastWest Promotions, the points leader, most recent winner. Doesn't have the all-time wins lead, but he is closing in on Dave Bodio for that too. Keith Jeffrey going to lead this event now. We're going to be around 188 laps, clicking up to the scoreboard this time. So we're about 12 or 13 laps away, and I'm not sure if there's a green-white checker rule here or not. We'll have to clarify, but I'll tell you what, business is about to pick up. And I like I wish, and I called Brandon Wilkinson out. This is what I was talking about. Late race yellow, maybe some controversy. I know Jack's pick is out, but I'm sticking with my pick there third. I think he's in a really good spot.
I still think Keith Jeffrey, if he gets a good restart here, that distance behind him could be key. We saw it earlier. We covered it in a battle earlier. That Ty Majeski could get right up to his bumper, and we sat here going, why can't he pass him? Why can't he get around him? This could be huge. If he can hold that same, basically have that same momentum going where he doesn't get passed by Majeski, Majeski just can't find a way around. I hope we don't see a dump and run. I would love to see a bump and run, but not a dump and run. We'll see how it all pans out here in the last 10 laps of this race from USA International Speedway.
That's right, and I believe the lights are out on the pace car, so it is time to get it on here, and hopefully for the final time tonight we'll restart it up, because I want to see how a 10-lap sprint with these gentlemen all kind of plays out. Don't count out Kyle O'Danick either. I'll tell you what, a guy like Kyle is to win the Resolution 200. When we get that big multi, 6-digit figure endorsement from NASCAR for this awesome broadcast, we're going to run down the Grizzle Barnmill area and take Mr. O'Danick out to dinner if he's in victory lane. We'll make that happen, Jeff.
Sounds great to me. Sounds just about as good as the racing going on here. About a car length and a half between Jeffrey and Ty Majeski. Majeski diving it hard into the corners, cuts it down. He's just got his bumper right up to him, but not enough. It's going to need everything that Majeski's got to get to the bumper, push him up out of the way, and get around.
Hey, don't look now. Dave Bodio's 16 car is now up to 4th, so the guy who's done it better than anybody else at EastWest here, the winningest driver of the tour, now number 16, finds himself back in the top 4 with a realistic shot of maybe getting up there to take this away from a couple of guys going at it for the race lead. Keith Jeffrey leading Ty Majeski. It's 2 car lengths. Majeski to look low off of 2.
Going into turn 3 now, Majeski just doesn't have enough to even get to the bumper for a bump and run. Keith Jeffrey knows he just has to keep that max speed up as high as he can. Just get around this track as fast as possible so that he doesn't get to your bumper. Part of it is putting down good lap times, but even more important than that is to just make sure he cannot get to your bumper, because once you get a bump from there, you're saving the car instead of driving through the turn.
I'm going to tell you what, I'm watching these 2 gentlemen up front leading this race, and it's completely 2 different ways they're approaching the corner. Ty's been letting out a little bit early, letting it roll, getting on the throttle, picking it up really heavy, like he did there through the middle, almost going to run on Keith. Keith's been driving it a little deeper into the turn. Now, as I say that, probably going to eat my words. He walks up the track. Ty Majeski to the inside, racing for the lead from start to finish line.
This is amazing. So much respect between the 2 drivers. He's not pushing him up the track. Oh my goodness, I say there's a shot to the right rear. Looked like Majeski got a bit loose. And here comes Dave Bodio. Oh my goodness, he's going to be on the inside. He's got prime position, pushes Majeski up the track to 3 wide. Keith Jeffrey finds his way through the middle. Majeski all the way back to 4th. That was an amazing move. My goodness.
Dave Bodio with a Hail Mary up to the race lead here late. I want to say, what was that? A little bit of.
Here comes Keith Jeffrey down on the inside.
Oh my man, this is awesome.
5 laps to go. This is amazing.
And Majeski's there as well. 3 cars going to go at it here late. I'm telling you, I was expecting this right now. They're going to get after it. I hope it's hard racing. God, I hope it stays clean. But I'm telling you, this one has all the lookings and all the makings of being one of the best finishes we see. We talk about best race of 2019. What a way to start 2020. 2 laps remaining next time around.
Dave Bodio's cleared the 88. This is big. Ty Majeski, really his only chance is to get a great run and go around both these guys. But with 3 laps to go, I don't know if he can do it. Keith Jeffrey's got a good shot. He just needs to get right up to that back bumper. And Dave Bodio needs to just not make any mistakes. I say that as Keith Jeffrey gets a bit closer. Is he going to shut the door, Bodio? He will not. Jeffrey to the inside of him. The 88 is there. Let's see if Majeski follows him, gives him a bit of a boost, and gets hit around the 16 as well. Doesn't look like it. Majeski's riding the outside.
And we are going to see the white flag on the Speedway this time. One more trip around. Can Dave Bodio hold on? This wouldn't be an upset over here at EastWest, would it? But he's going to lead him off turn number 2. Majeski taking a peek up high. He gets really loose up high at Jeffrey. Bodio leads for the final time into 3.
Looks like Dave Bodio's got this. Keith Jeffrey back in 2nd place. Ty Majeski 3rd. 3 of the best in this race. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely incredible run at the end there. I cannot believe it.
Dave Bodio winning the Resolution 200 and some of the best racing I've ever seen out there. Open wheel modifiers, they always deliver. Dave takes down a big win over Keith Jeffrey. Ty Majeski with a 3rd place run. Brandon Wilkinson 4th. And how about Kyle O'Danick? What a great job with a 21 car to grab a top 5. Junior Harville will finish up 6th. Glenn Pressel from 20th up to 7th. That's a great night of racing right there. As is Gary Holbrook, number 71. Gary finishes up in the 8th spot, the final car in the lead lap. Brad Carpenter will finish 9th. And Steve Rogers with a very game effort with a top 10. Wow, was that fun.
I can't believe that. I'm still in shock. How did Bodio do that? He weaved his way, parted the Red Sea like Moses, and found his way out to the front to win this race. Oh my, I can't believe it. I'm still in shock over this finish.
Here is the great news, Jeff. We'll be able to ask Dave that and ask the thoughts of a guy like Keith. And God only knows if we'll get Ty Majeski on our airwaves. It'd not be cool if we did. But I'll tell you what, I can't wait to talk to Dave and to Keith here on the post-race show presented by BladeNo.com. We're going to hop to our Discord. I hope you guys join us on the other side as well, live on your source of esports racing post-race show coming up next. All right, back here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. This one's going to be fun here. Post-race show presented by BladeNode.com. Simple web solutions powered by nerds. Check them out today. VPS servers, dedicated servers, simple web hosting. Check them out. Use promo code BLADE10. Let them know the guys over at Full Velocity sent you. Once again, BladeNode.com. Post-race show sponsor. We'll talk to our entire, well, two of the top three anyways. I'll run the victory lane to talk to Dave Bodio. First up, Jeff McCody. I think you know how this one works. I'm going to give you the interview for our second place runner tonight, Mr. Keith Jeffrey, and this one's going to be a good one. I'm going to tell you what.
Hello, Mr. Keith Jeffrey. It's Jeff McConey up here in the booth. You got me?
10-4, buddy. I got you.
What an amazing race there at the end. We were commenting on it up here in the booth. The amount of respect between you and Ty Majeski as you were racing for the lead there. Nobody was really bullying each other out of the way, which in an open wheel modified, that's pretty shocking. There was that incident with about 7 laps to go where it looked like Majeski just slowed up a bit in front of you. So what's going through your mind as you're here in 3 wide and you were in the lead and you've just now gotten into the back of Majeski after he checked up in front of you and Bodio comes flying up the middle? What's going through your mind at that point? Because we were losing ours up here in the booth.
That's a great question. I don't know if I have a good answer for you. I mean, Ty is obviously the best in the business, real life and on the sim here. He's no joke. So I knew it was going to take something special to get him, but I just made a little mistake, let him get inside there, and I'm not sure where the contact or how it happened, what happened. I just know I was giving him everything I had, but trying to be clean, and then the next thing you know, it felt like we were 4 wide, and man, I don't know. I'll have to go back and watch it. That was wild.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wild,
yeah. Absolutely need to go back and watch it. I'm still in shock over it. I imagine I speak for many of the viewers as well. Just watching that was absolutely unbelievable. Another big thing that we noticed up here in the booth was that everyone seemed to be tight in and just unbelievably loose off. Did you find that with your car as well? How were you adjusting over the course of the run, and was it for being loose off like that?
I definitely had trouble getting it turned down the bottom. I think that you probably could see some guys beating me getting to the end, but my car drove off really good, so I could kind of maintain a gap there. I wasn't getting free off like others were. But this track, 200 laps with some of the best guys in the business, there's just a lot of rubber down, so the bottom got definitely slick for sure. And that's what I was hoping, if I could hit my marks on the top, even if Ty got inside of me, I was hoping I could fend him off. But just a little mistake there, probably overthought it, and that was what allowed Bodio to get in front of me.
Well, when you come home second place in a race like that, I don't think it's a bad day at all whatsoever. It's really hard to complain. I know if I had finished second there in that race, I would be through the roof feeling like it was a victory. But you're used to this top 3 stuff. Who do you have to thank for getting you here tonight?
Dave helped me out a lot with the setup this week. We like always, we put a lot of work in on these cars at Jim Beaver Esports. Those guys are great. But then General Tire, the Down and Dirty Show, Dirtfish, Super ATV, all these guys are so great. Rigid Industries, Gibson, Polaris, 4-wheel parts, Impact helmets, Vision Wheels, 07 Design, and Sant Racing. Bobby Sant's building some pretty awesome sim rigs if you're looking for those. So it's a special thing we got going here. Truly one of a kind when it comes to the short track and some of the dirt racing sim world. Pretty cool thing we got going on. These guys have all been fantastic, and I can't end this without thanking my wife always, Kayla, for putting up with this.
Well, that is an amazing race, an amazing season so far. I imagine you're going to retain the points lead after this. We haven't run the math quite yet, but congratulations on an amazing run. Congratulations on holding your own against Ty Majeski, literally the best iRacer that ever has raced. So congratulations on that as well. Great job tonight. It was an awesome time watching you, and we'll see you out there next week.
Thanks, guys.
All right, there you have it down there, trackside. Jeff McCody doing an awesome job with our buddy Keith Jeffrey with a second place run here tonight. I am going to walk down to victory lane because the man of the hour right now, I will tell you what, with a breathtaking move from fourth to first down this short straightaway at the USA International Speedway, Mr. Dave Bodio picking up yet another win. When you saw that opening go in there and shot that car in there, did you just close your eyes and just hope you came out the other side, man? What a move!
Thank you. Yeah, I saw some daylight on the other end and went for it.
And to mix it up, you guys all night long, cars were awfully quick. 200 laps. First of all, how you feeling after an event like that? You a little bit tired, a little bit winded? I mean, a marathon, you guys ran this race as hard as you could the entire.
It was pretty good. Just pacing yourself, not getting in trouble early, and then going at the right time. I know I might have roughed up Ty there a little bit at the end. That's modified racing though.
I would hope to think that Ty would get that too, being a racer that he is and all that. But you guys really getting after it. Man, car was flawless. You had to overcome quite a bit tonight. You got caught up in that big wreck there, the checkup on the straightaway. Did that hurt the car whatsoever? Because you took a pretty good hit there for a
I don't know. I thought it was going to be destroyed, but it seemed pretty good after that still. I mean, enough to put it in victory lane tonight.
Talk about tire wear over the course of this as well. You guys put like a good 50 to 60 lap run in. Tires fell off, but not the free fall I thought they did. They held up pretty good, I would.
Yeah, we had a really long run there at the beginning of the race, and it was starting to get a little free, really all around the track for me on that run. And then I was happy to see the caution come out, but my car was definitely better on a longer run, so it was kind of a catch-22.
It was awesome to watch here tonight. Dave Bodio with the big move, picking up the win here in the Resolution 200. But we've done this a few times before. I'm sure we'll do it again over the course of this year. But for the first time in 2020, let me give you the microphone one more time and thank this great team and all these awesome people behind you to help these race cars go as fast as they.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it short tonight. I want to thank everyone at Jim Beaver Esports, Jim Beaver's Down and Dirty show presented by Polaris Razor and Acronis, and General Tire as well.
All right, well, a gracious guy picks up the win in the Resolution 200. Mr. Dave Bodio takes down yet another win, adding on to that win total here in the EastWest Modified Tour. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to get Ty Majeski on the post race show. It doesn't appear, but we do have a standout here as well, a guy who has won many a races, many a championships. Our old friend, Mr. Brandon Wilkinson, going to join us out here. Brandon, that was some good racing there late, buddy. Once you see out the windshield or the windscreen of your car, that was awesome to watch up here.
Yeah, it was a good race for sure, man. Kind of wish I didn't wrap the line as much as I did there when Jeffrey got into Ty, and I think we would have won another big race here with these guys. But yeah, I mean it was a fun race. The top four, even Odanik, they were all glued bumper to bumper right there. So you can't really ask for much more than that. It was definitely a hard race, and everybody came out in one piece, and I guess that's all that matters.
Exactly right. It was really good. Spirit of competition. It really shows tried and true here. Now I know you've won a lot of races. You've run in a lot of different leagues over the years, but this one here, East West, Keith and Kyle, they have done one hell of a job. I know it's enjoyable for us as broadcasters to come out here and watch you guys mix it up week after week, but for a guy like you who kind of hits and misses with a lot of these things, hats off to these guys. They do it, as good as anybody else out there that could possibly do it.
Yeah, and Mark Logan, Majeski, and I decided to run this last minute, and Mark prepared a really good race car. Mark built this thing from the ground up, probably within 30 minutes, and came in last night and did 2 20-lap runs and did a little practice today, and it was really good. So, we had 47 or so cars trying to make the race, and 35 started the event. And we went, over half the race green. So, that says a lot. I mean, that's a huge field on a tight track and a car that not, everybody runs. So, No, these guys did a great job, and props to them for putting on a good event, and thank you to you guys for the broadcast. It was it was a good race. Like I said, man, Mark built this thing from the ground up, 2 days ago, and it was a real fast piece. So, um, just real quick, want to thank my guys. Like I said, Mark Logan, everybody at the posse, Majeski, Drew Kryback for spotting for me, Schaefer, Martin, Spearman, all the guys, Riley for coming in. Um, my sponsors, Epic Media, Rocket Performance, Race1.us, Mark Welch. Yeah, no, it was a heck of a race, and really looking forward to the next marquee event that they put on because I know Ty and I will be here for sure.
Well, that's awesome to hear, man. Awesome for that. And yeah, give Ty a shout for us as well. All the gang over at the posse. They're a bunch of great guys over there. So they don't ever have to be a stranger. It's tough out there in the world. Don't want to get starstruck out. We're cool up here. Give those guys a shout. Tell them we say hello. Tell Ty, awesome job. It was a lot of fun to watch all you guys out there tonight. Brandon, thanks for stopping in. But been a while. I'm sure we'll do it again, man. Awesome job. Thanks for stopping.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it.
All right, there he is, guys. Brandon Wilkinson aboard the number 56 tonight. I'm glad he joined us as well. Jeff, I'm not sure what more we can say. That was a lot of fun tonight. That was awesome to watch. Class of gentlemen. And like he said, a 200-lap race. We've seen probably almost 75% under green. That's fantastic.
That is amazing to have that many laps under green. It just goes to show these are some of the best modified drivers out there. When you look for competitive leagues for the modifieds, this is the place you want to go. There's a lot of others out there, and there's just nothing quite like it. If you go to other leagues, you see a lot of wrecks, you see a lot of infighting and everything else. There is not one single complaint out here. Everyone understands that things happen when they're racing. And because of that mutual respect among everybody, you get amazing races like this. You get guys fighting for the lead, fighting for position, and just an all-around amazing race. And that's all you can ask for as a fan, as a broadcaster, as a driver. You just want something good and fun so that at the end of the day, whether you finish first or last, you can say, you know what, I enjoyed it, and next week I'm going to be right back out there doing the same thing.
I agree, man. And it's been a pleasure to have you aboard here once again. I'm hoping we have a couple more races here this season. Can I expect to see more of you here Thursday nights? Todd's been my partner a long time, but he's a dirt guy. It's great to have an asphalt guy to bounce things.
That sounds amazing to me. Hey, I mean, I got classes, but they're usually over by this time on Thursdays. And once I get back on campus, all I got to do every week, I'm going to pencil it into my calendar. Thursday night is EastWest Modified Series. Friday night, record Bottled Up. Saturday, post Bottled Up. And that's about all I got to do. So that sounds great to me.
All right, brother. Well, we can be of any assist whatsoever. You know where we live. You're welcome anytime, any show we got. Love you having you around, man. Thanks again for being a part of it. Thanks to all you out there playing along tonight through Facebook Live and YouTube and Twitch. Got to thank the guys over at EastWest Promotions. Of course, Keith and Kyle, Dave, all the group over here doing an awesome job for our great people here behind the scenes. Jack Truin, Todd Stanton, Ron Piles, our great sponsors collectively. You got to say thanks to Team Hard Motorsports, iRacingIFlag.com, Voiles Trucking, J-Max Strong, J-Max Journeys. Check them out today. Also got to thank BladeNo.com, the South Texas Speedway, Milner Media and Design, JP Designs, TDR Racing League, Trash Panda Graphics, 3D Racing, the Pit Pass by Katie Dugas, and also Cyber Thunder Racing League. For all the gang over here, we will see you back here next time on the Full Velocity Racing Network, your source for esports racing. Good night, everybody, from the Lakeland, Florida, USA International Speedway.